sense, yeah.
Clearly. So
Someone
Gordon,
ride the train.
you want to do a search for that little creature that that Cedric saw. So go ahead and give me an investigation check.
All right. I like to be a bit of a cheeky boy, and see if I could also have my magnifying glass. I want to do specifically.
I'm sorry, what was that? What?
I'd also like to use my. I'm gonna go ahead and dig out my magnifying glass from my backpack because I'm also gonna be looking for footprints specifically.
Okay.
Not that.
So let me actually. So on an 8, let me do something.
You see so many footprints. It is a carnival.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is Gordon saying to the others he's looking for it?
it's a good question. Gordon, have you announced to the others that you are searching for this creature that Cedric saw?
I did mention last session that on the way I would like to stop and take a look where he saw it. So.
Okay, so you did. Okay, then Cedric
Yeah.
Cedric, having seen the thing, would attempt to assist.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Cedric, you can use the help action, and Gordon, you can go ahead and remake that investigation check.
Something better, please. I'll take that. That is definitely better.
That is a dirty 20. We love a dirty 20. Gordon, you do a bit of searching around. It's a little difficult with like all the people around jostling you, going towards the various attractions. This area is not exactly meant to be investigated. But Cedric manages to maintain like a strong presence around you to ward off most of the passerbys. So you're able to get a bit of time to examine the area. Gordon, you don't find any footprints, especially not of a creature of the size that Cedric described. What you do find, however, which strikes you as somewhat strange, is a little bit of dampness on the ground.
Huh.
And it has not rained recently, and when you go to examine this dampness, it feels slimy.
Gross.
It feels a little bit like an amphibian's mucus.
I thought you were
like
gonna
off
say
of
blood, and I was
No.
like,
Oh,
oh shit,
God.
we got to the creepy part of the carnival.
No. It feels like mucus off of a frog or a toad to you.
Mucus like substance. All right, I'm just writing that in my little pocketbook here.
Gross.
Love that. But that is the only thing that you find in this area.
No rain in days. All right. That's a couple.
Gordon has his little note that he's writing on with his investigative findings. So does the party continue on towards the Hall of Illusions?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mara
love
looks
it.
at her ticket sadly because she really wants to use it for the bubbles, but we're here for a thing.
And the Bubble Pop Teapot isn't going anywhere, at least until the carnival is over.
It better not.
Just for my own memory, did we get welcome gifts?
The welcoming gifts were the things that Northwind the Treant was scattering around. So like Amara and Gordon got that like renewed sense of joy. Some of y'all got gold pieces.
I hid.
Some of y'all made wishes.
I hid.
Zalora hid.
We also all got fairy wings, which is honestly the best welcome gift.
You did. Yes, all of you are wearing your butterfly wings, which are part of being a patron of the carnival. While Dalton is away, I'm going to go ahead and describe y'all on the way to the Hall of Illusions. You are going to pass by a set of stalls, and those stalls include a couple of little games, as well as a few tents for food. Does the party examine the stalls, or do you simply pass by?
I'd pop my head in.
Alistair, you recognize that the food stalls are selling candied apples and what is called evening berry wine, though it is not alcoholic. You also see a goblin wrestling stall in the middle.
It's funny, when you said stall, my head thought, like, animals, like horses and, like, cows.
Nope.
And, like...
Nope. They're just like little shops set up.
I see, yes.
A few of them sold food, and one of them is peddling a goblin wrestling game.
Like, you wrestle a goblin?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You wrestle goblins.
Oh.
Are
Most-
they together?
It depends on how big you are. If you are about the size of a goblin, you wrestle one goblin. If you are the size of an ordinary human, you wrestle two goblins.
If you're the size of a
Let's wrestle
smaller than
five
average
goblins.
ordinary human.
If you are a medium-sized creature, you wrestle two goblins.
I don't wanna.
You are medium-sized. Alistair, though, is small and would wrestle one goblin.
I took on three one time!
Alistair, did you beat the three goblins?
What?
No, but they don't have to know that!
Incredible.
Wait, was it the same goblins that you were having drinking games with in, like, the first episode? Were those goblins?
They let him win.
Oh my god.
It was part of a bet. Or no, he's the one that they showed off to, be like, even this guy can defeat them. I bet you could too.
I would beat them in a fake fight to draw other customers in.
You and Ginkle have, like, this long-running hustle that you pull with the goblin wrestling stand.
People would go up and buy extra tickets just so they could keep wrestling.
Yeah. So does the party stop at any of the games or the food, or do they keep going?
I'm very single-mindedly heading towards the Hall of Mirrors as long as Cedric is going, and when he stops, I bump into him because I'm in a rush.
Fantastic.
You're nuzzle. I have a trash can. It's not for dogs.
So the party is going to find themselves before long at the large tent at the Hall of Illusions. I would like to bring your attention both to the hall itself as well as the small glass case to the side of the Hall of Illusions. The glass case comes into view first. And there is a small bit of text. The glass case itself has a wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a flowing green cape hovering inside of it. You see a sign atop the glass case that reads, Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter.
Oh my god.
You also see a halfling couple who are standing beside the glass case. Does this catch any of your fancies, or do you proceed towards the hall?
I stop a moment to observe.
Agreed.
Wonderful.
I'm a first one.
Gordon and Cedric, the two of you, as you stop to observe, actually behold a pretty interesting scene. The two halflings are holding hands as they approach the glass cabinet. And one of them, a slightly shorter man, is wearing butterfly face paint. When they're just a couple of feet from the glass cabinet, he actually pauses, and he holds his companion's hand back. And you're not quite close enough to overhear what's being said, though you see the first one put a hand over his heart, and he drops to one knee in front of the glass cabinet. And as he does so and pulls a small box from his pocket, the other one, a slightly taller man, takes a step back and bursts into laughter. As you watch the taller halfling, like, rolling on the ground in laughter, the shorter man in face paint starts sobbing and runs off into the Hall of Illusions.
I'm guessing that this is like,
Oh,
who will my true love be? Yada yada.
May I roll an Arcana check, considering where they were?
You absolutely may, Cedric.
17.
Where is that result? That is a 17 on Arcana.
I see.
Cedric, you would probably need to get closer to the glass case to get an idea, but you are aware of the Tasha's hideous laughter spell, and the fact that you see a glass cabinet bearing Tasha's resemblance, mentioning that spell, means that that laughter might not have been genuine.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
neither is mine. Because I am also spelled, so... What laughter is genuine in a fake carnival?
So, yes, you do come to that conclusion, Cedric, as you watch, though all 5 of you, see the other shorter one still run into the Hall of Illusions and disappear into the hallway. The other halfling is, like, trying to get up from the ground, but unable to do so, with like, how heavily this laughter is racking his body.
Pull the halfling away from Tasha. Hopefully that will help alleviate the laughter.
Yes, Alistair, you pull the halfling about 10 feet from the glass cabinet, and he gasps in some breath and manages to calm himself. And he says, "Thanks, thank you. Did you see where Reuben went?"
I just point.
Oh no. Oh, I hope he's all right. I didn't mean to start laughing.
Wrong place in the wrong time, my friend. It's nothing more. Just...
Well, I have to find him and apologize. Alistair, you know that it is very difficult to find someone in the Hall of Illusions. That is not an easy task.
Alright. Come with us. I've been here a time or two. We'll go in the illusions.
You'll help? Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I'll guard the door in case he comes out.
Helping customers on my day off.
So Laura, like, tenses up when Cedric says he won't come in. And she'll be like, but we have to go in there. There's information we need.
Actually, so let me ask, who is going, the halfling introduces himself as Ween, W-E-E-N, who is gonna go help Ween find Reuben in the Hall of Illusions?
I think I will. I have a... Yeah.
Gordon will, Alistair will. Lovely.
I would, but somebody has to stay out here with Zalora.
I'm
She
gonna
doesn't
say,
like crowds.
I think that I was told that I needed to go in the Hall of Illusions, but I don't
Well,
want to go in without
actually,
Cedric.
Actually, Cedric, Amara, and Zalora, as you, like, take up a post, you see peeking around the side, is... this guy.
It's a
Oh,
mime.
yes, fancy lad.
Oh, that's a mime.
It is a mime. He is a monochromatic young man wearing butterfly wings, with a basket of flowers under his arm. He, like, peeks around the tent and comes out to face y'all. Alistair, if you were there, you would know who this is. Also, Alistair and Gordon, mark down that you have one ticket punched on your one punch on your tickets out of 8.
I believe Zalora would just recognize this is who she's looking for, considering the description.
Very possibly.
I'll just put it on my...
Zalora and Mara being absolute babes tonight.
Zalora pulls on Cedric's sleeve and points at him, and she's like, there's the mime I was talking about.
Didn't speak.
The mime is going to walk up to the 3 of you and look over at the glass cabinet and then back at you and, like, tilt his head curiously.
How do you know he's a mime? Oh.
Is it what the mermaid said?
His appearance.
Also,
Yeah.
and he has the this thing going on with his hands.
Yeah. Zalora would,
know-
like, stand up straight and try to look, like, confident, and then she'll lean in really quietly and be like, hi, so...
Y'all are freezing up, so I can't see you right now.
Oh dear.
Can you hear us?
This is gonna fucking kill me.
Can you hear us?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yes.
So she'd lean in and quietly go, hi, so, I forgot what her name is.
That's a good point, Mara.
The mermaid is Palacia.
So, Palacia said you might be able to help me. You see, I've lost my song.
Before you even finish speaking, when you say Palacia's name, like, the mime kind of brightens up and then immediately saddens.
Insight. He done love her, right?
Do you have more than a +0 to your insight, Zalora?
Yes.
Yes. This mime is in love with Palacia. But when you do finish, when you say that you've lost your song, the mime looks up.
And I say, that's what she was saying. Can we write some stuff together? Maybe you can tell me your story, and we could figure each other's stuff out.
He
No.
doesn't know how to write.
I have a spare page in my book if you want to borrow. No? Okay.
Can you only mime? Is it something to do with why you lost your voice? Because you used to be able to talk. You've lost the way to communicate unless you mime. Okay, what were you doing when you lost your voice?
What?
You were singing?
The mime points over to where Palacia's fishbowl is.
Oh, you were watching Palacia sing.
You were talking to Palacia.
Well, I understand why. She's very nice. Were you professing your love to Palacia? That is a really bad time to lose your voice.
Sirens don't take the voice of somebody who professes their love to them, do they?
No, normally, they take their lives if, they don't like them, but...
Ah, you got off pretty easily.
She wasn't singing. If she was singing, it could have been a problem, but I don't think she was, so I don't think it was her, right? Okay.
Zalora, you hit the nail on the head. He was saying that it wasn't Palacia who did it to him.
Yeah. So,
Did you remember to take time off of work?
I'm gonna guess that's a no. Were you on the job, off the job? Did you accidentally sneak in? What,
Did you have a ticket? Because Alistair had to have a ticket in order to be here on his day off, so it stands to reason that that could be the breaking point.
Let me check something about what he knows. Okay.
flying bird?
A bird
Birdsong?
ate your ticket?
Your wings. Your wings? Did they take your wings? Bird call? Your voice? A bird took your voice? Huh. A bird took your voice. What? Its mouth? A tall bird? Huh. A tall bird took your voice. Cedric, what was this thing that you saw earlier? This isn't anything like that, right?
Dalton stepped away, I think.
Oh.
Oh, yes, he did, in fact. So let's go ahead and take a quick break while we go into the Hall of Illusions. To give me a break from miming.
Yeah, you were putting a lot of energy in that.
Thank you. The book is very mean about that. Literally, in the book, it says, "Here's your chance to explore your hidden talents as a mime." So, in the Hall of Illusions, Alistair and Gordon are searching for Reuben the Halfling. Let's... Ooh, excuse me. Is this the before? No, most certainly it is not. Let's watch this one. In the Hall of Illusions, the two of you, do I have? The two of you walk into a long corridor filled with floor-to-ceiling twisted mirrors. When you first walk in, it's rather plain, simple, distorted images of yourself. As you walk further on, though, those images shift and become smaller, and you recognize that the mirrors are showing you younger. Where you are in the hall right now, you are somewhere around 4 or 5 years old in the mirrors. So as you search for Reuben, you are going to give me perception checks to find your way successfully through the maze.
Oh.
I'm sorry, say that again? We're gonna do what?
You are going to make perception checks to find your way safely through the maze.
Okay. I have a +5.
Nice.
We both make them separately, or could one of us make them and the other give it to help act?
Yeah, that was my question. It's separate roles, or
These are going to be separate roles because it's easy for you to become separated in this hall.
I see.
well, that's a good start.
Woof,
We
that
are-
is a
we
good
are-
start though.
We are separated.
Yes, Gordon, you pretty quickly find yourself lost in this hall. To the point where you don't know where Alistair is, but you still think you can hear him. Alistair, you know that as you go onwards, you've been in this hall more than once. You find your way as much by scent and by sound as by sight. So this isn't as distorting for you as it is for most people. And as you go through, you start to hear crying.
Okay.
You get an idea of where Reuben is, but you can't quite find him yet. You know what direction he's in, though. Go ahead, but can both of you give me one more perception check, please?
Well, Gordon, follow my voice. Maybe that'll help.
Perception. Alright, that's enough bad rolls. I'm changing out my dice.
Oh no!
How does that happen on roll 20 though? Like, are
You
you
can-
changing the color?
Yes, I'm very superstitious, and
Okay.
these die are not made for this character.
That's the first time I've ever seen anyone change their dice color on roll 20.
Alistair, you are walking towards where you heard that sound.
I 100%
and
change
you-
my digital dice
You
when they're
feel
being bad.
something a little bit weird in the air around you as you go further on. The air, it feels not heavier. It feels just different. Like it tastes a little bit different. And as you round a corner around the mirrors, you see Ruben, a young, shorter halfling with butterfly face paint, who's staring into a mirror in which you can see a younger version of himself. Except Ruben isn't alone in his reflection. You see someone else in the mirror with Ruben. Kyle, if you look in the characters, in the NPCs tab over in the little news section of Roll20, you will see a character titled Childlike Mysterious Figure. That is the person you see talking to Ruben's reflection.
Not a big fan of the mask.
No, it's
although
bad.
maybe it's better than what's underneath it. I would, yeah.
Alistair,
I know.
how was your passive insight?
I know for a fact the mirrors here aren't supposed to work like that. My passive insight is a 13.
On a 13 passive insight, you know immediately that that little figure is trying to convince Ruben of something. What's more, you know that she is very close to succeeding.
I jump in front of the reflection, and to get in front of Ruben.
The instant you are within eyesight, the little girl turns and disappears further into the mirror.
Okay. Ruben, you're Ruben?
What? Yes. Yeah, I'm Ruben. Who are you?
Hey, I'm Alistair Buttons. So, your person out there, they weren't laughing at you. It was Tasha. Tasha has a thing. She makes people laugh. And so was Spell. Laughter wasn't at you, man.
It was a spell?
Yeah.
Alistair, go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage. So you explain the situation to Ruben, who nods. Okay. I don't know how to get out of here.
Yeah. Stick with me. We'll get out of here.
Okay. Yeah.
I work here. It's my day off, but I work here.
Oh, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be bothered with this.
It's alright.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
He accepts tips.
Yes. You got any snacks on you?
Yeah, actually, Ruben is, let's say, he has a little bag in his hand, and he pulls out a couple of pixie tarts, which are little, frosted cupcakes.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
You manage, Alistair, to both find Gordon and also Ween, and get back out. Actually, no, you find Gordon. Ween has already accidentally ended up outside. So you managed to bring Ruben outside,
I did want to ask one question. As the mirrors were changing, I know it was younger versions. Does it ever get to...
Yes. I'm sorry. You are absolutely correct. As you go further up the hall, you get older and older. So as Gordon, you have been jumping all over in terms of age. You have been 13 years old. You have been 60 years old. You have been 2 years old. You have been 90 years old. Alistair manages to lead you outside of the hall, and the two of you watch yourselves as you go further in the hall get older and older and older. So here's a question, Gordon. What do you think Gordon looks like? Here's a question, Wyatt, rather. what do you think Gordon looks like when he's around, like, 75, 80-ish?
In the ground. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Probably a little bit the same, just more steely gray hair. He might grow his beard out a little bit more.
So you watch yourself kind of hobble alongside yourself with a slowly lengthening beard and maybe a bit more of a stooped shoulder. Alistair, you look towards your image as you get older and older. Alistair, give me a charisma saving throw. I'm sorry, a wisdom saving throw. A wisdom saving throw, Alistair.
I am better at those. I've been rolling pretty well. On the one
You have been rolling pretty well.
Wow.
Alistair, you find it hard to recognize the image you see in the mirror. You feel weirdly, like, disconnected from it.
I don't think
You can
that-
still see it clearly, but
Yeah.
you feel disconnected from it.
Yeah, that ain't me. I don't think that's a like, Gordon, do I see, like, if I look at, do I see other people's reflections? Like, if I look Gordon, I can see old Gordon.
That's a good question. Do you see... I'm
Also,
going to say... I'm sorry, what?
does Gordon see old, what's his face?
And vice versa. Yeah.
Did he look at the picture in the beginning?
Oh shit, yeah, he definitely did because I handed the drawing to him.
I am going
That's
to
a
say
good
yes
point.
to both questions. You
Okay.
can see each other's reflections as they get older and younger.
Okay.
Okay,
so I'd be
so
like,
upon
Gordon,
noticing that, I am going to pause.
So I'm going to need two things right now. I'm going to need Amara to give me a performance check
What?
to see how accurate that image she drew of old Alistair was.
Oh shit.
And I am going to need Gordon to give me an investigation. I'm sorry, yes?
I have a question. In the past, when the drawing happened, I fully posed and, like, was hamming it up. Could that have given her the help action on her drawing because I was a good subject?
Normally, I would have given her disadvantage on the check because she was a child when she did it. So that will be, I'll make it a flat check.
I wasn't a child. I was like 17.
Okay, so it's not the
Went a lot
dice,
of-
I'm just
I've seen
cursed.
some crazy.
Oh, I
episodes
thought you
of
were like
some-
a child, like when you were 8 or something. You were 17 when this happened?
Yeah, she was about 17.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and make it with advantage, Amara.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that, Gordon?
Yeah, it's not my die, I'm just cursed.
Oh no, Gordon. You used up all your good rolls in your test rolls.
The only 3 I had, and they're
Let the
gone.
dice roll where they roll. You do have advantage, Amara.
I know.
Okay.
I don't know how to do advantage on D&D Beyond.
Oh, then you should. If it's set up correctly, you should be able to hold shift and then click on the little B.
Oh. Oh.
Well, don't do it this time because you already
Do it
rolled
now.
once for performance.
Don't tell me what to do with my life.
I'm the DM. I'm going to tell you what to do with your life.
Okay, how do I make it disadvantage?
You don't have
No,
disadvantage.
just
you
roll
wanna
it flat.
again.
You haven't rolled
No,
it yet.
I know, but I want to know for future reference.
Oh, for future reference, it's control.
Okay, so it's up and down, basically. I did it anyway.
That is a
It's
19,
the 5 and the
however.
19 that are the 5 and the 19 are the only important ones.
Yes, they are the only important ones.
That's true. That's true. So with a 19, Gordon, I'm gonna say that you do think that that reflection of the older Harangon is familiar. I am gonna say with a 6, you think it might be because you're racist.
Okay, so like mid-strum, it just kind of, music stops, like, oh no.
Ruben says, "Why'd you stop?"
What?
Yeah,
Ruben the Halfling says, "Why did you stop playing? I kind of liked it."
Oh, sorry, just momentary distraction. Oh,
That's
where was
okay.
Gordon, what? You seem like you saw something. What's up?
I? One of the reflections. It just kind of tripped me up for a moment, and nothing.
Yeah, I'll tell you this one too. It feels weird to me. I know like yours looks like an old version of you, but like I feel disconnected from this. Like that ain't me.
Ruben says, "Oh, don't worry. I don't like seeing myself old either. It kind of weirds me out."
Speak for yourself. This looks like a fine wine to me.
I think I aged more like cheese. I hope this isn't accurate. So the two of you bring Reuben out, and the instant he's outside of the tent, Ween throws himself at him. And he is, like, sobbing with relief, and he says, I'm so sorry! I didn't mean to laugh! One of those people said that there was magic on the cabinet, and I didn't know it, and I got too close, and I'm gonna... And Reuben says, I know, they told me the same thing! The two of them hug and start kissing. And are Gordon and Alistair uncomfortable, or are they gonna stick around and watch?
Well, I'm not going to watch.
Can
I'm gonna
Zalora
go-
see this?
Wade and Reuben seem to have forgotten that you two were there.
Okay. Just move on then. Yeah.
Does Zalora clock this from where she is?
Zalora, throw me a perception check. Let's see. Because this is happening at the opposite end of the tent from where you are, but it's not that far away, so it's not going to be a high DC.
If she's hiding behind Cedric, she should have disadvantage because of wings.
Oh my god. Why would you do that to her, though?
14.
Cedric over here asking the teacher if we have homework. Zalora, you do see the two halflings reunited by Alistair and Gordon.
She goes, oh, what are they doing with their faces? It's so weird.
Zalora has never
What?
seen mammals kiss before.
I was like, is that what you do?
Like,
I don't-
you've definitely seen that in the castle. It's 'cause of his parents.
And I'll never get used to it.
So meanwhile, let's do a bit more of the miming with Candlefoot over there with the group because it took Alistair and Gordon about a few minutes to find Reuben in the Hall of Mirrors. So if there are any pressing questions y'all want to ask Candlefoot before y'all move on, feel free to do so.
Was there anything else around when you had your voice stolen? You said it was like a crow thing. Zalora looks to Cedric and repeats her question. What was the thing that you saw stealing before? Did it have wings?
It did not.
Hmm.
It was more like a gremlin. Fish-eyed.
She stares at him.
Oh.
What is that supposed to mean? No, I'm just kidding. She would never do that.
It
Her eyes get
literally-
big,
it's literally a
like,
term.
and her eyes look like fish eyes, and then she realizes what she's doing, and then she tries to close her eyes. Do you know of anybody else who lost something like that? Is there anything else that's been weird going on around here? Okay. Everything's weird? I know you're miming, but that's not really specific.
Do you know where it flew off to? Or at least the direction.
Have you... Wait. hang on.
Candlefoot is going to point over to the northeast. I'm gonna go ahead and specifically he points in this. Is that right? Let me make sure that I'm giving you the right direction here.
I know I'm not there, but earlier I heard you guys mention tickets and stuff. Did he
That
lose his
direction.
voice after coming in without a ticket?
That is something you would actually know about Alistair, but will require you to make compare notes afterwards.
Okay.
So he points in this direction.
Isn't that also the direction of...
Oh, you know what? That might require y'all to have the same view I have of the map.
No, I saw it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was this way.
Yes, that is correct.
My
Cedric.
arrow.
So if he was having a conversation with the other siren, I can't remember her name right now.
Well, she's
Palacia.
a mermaid, not
Palacia.
necessarily a siren, right?
Mermaid, okay.
So
That is
would mean
absolutely correct.
it went towards
Okay.
the feasting orchard, correct?
So that's what I'm... Yeah, can we infer that it would be actually a little bit further than that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so actually, if you show him your map, he will point around the area of the feasting orchard.
I love that.
Mm.
Have
Pie.
you seen this bird before? Okay, so it's not something.
So we ask him
that's
if he's
normally at
seen the
carnival.
description of the little monster that that Cedric had seen. No?
I think
Okay.
that's better after we get his voice back.
You know, she'll still like you even if you can't speak. We're not, we're used to learning new languages. There's a lot of fish languages, to be honest. Sometimes it's better when you don't have a voice. Show her how you feel. Your voice. You want to tell her how you feel? Well, I just saw two humanoids smashing faces. That's not really how we do it, but that seemed to work.
That's also not how humans do it without, like, a lot of forewarning.
I mean, I've seen some do it without warning, but I
gonna
wouldn't
say-
recommend it.
Zalora leans into him and whispers in her, so what you want to do is you want to brush your entire body against hers, and you kind of want to, like, shimmy a little bit, and then
Cedric's gonna cover her mouth.
you-
It's like, nope, nope.
you...
Ignore her entirely.
What? He doesn't know how the courting dance goes.
Yeah, but that's between two people of the same race. It's a bit different when you're not the same race.
Well,
That could look like sexual assault.
it's we could make him a tail. I mean, I know it's not, wouldn't be real, but like,
I feel like
I'm
we're
gonna say it
getting
around
a
this
little
point-
too off subject at this
Around
point.
this point, Alistair and Gordon can come rejoin the rest of the party.
Thank God, maybe they have better questions for this guy.
Oh, I'm sitting down and I'm still thinking about what I saw in the hall.
I did want to ask the halfling one question. I want to ask Ruben one question before.
Yeah, I mean, if you make your presence, then the two of them, like, break apart, like, oh my god. Sorry, we got a little, whew.
Ruben, one question before I found you in the mirror maze.
Uh-huh.
You remember talking to a girl?
Oh my god, that was real?
Yeah.
I was just something weird about the mirrors.
Yeah.
You
what,
saw
what
her
was she-
too?
What'd she say?
She was asking me to follow her. That's weird. I don't remember what she said exactly. It was something about safety, I think. That's weird.
Yeah.
I know what she said to me, but I don't remember what the words were.
The general sentiment was follow me to safety.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, that's spooky. I don't like
Yeah.
that. But what I am going to do is, because y'all managed to find Reuben in the Hall of Mirrors, the carnival mood raises by 1 step.
Okay.
Yay!
oh,
Yay,
there's a
everybody's
mood
happy.
board for the carnival.
There is a mood board for the carnival.
I'm just waiting for it to reach max.
Do
I
we
We
don't
know
have-
what
like,
it.
the
we
worst
have
We
thing
know what
happened.
it means.
Alistair, roll me a straight...
Do you think if the mood gets bad, they close up shop and leave early?
Give me an intelligence check,
I
Alistair.
think if the moon gets bad, that people get
Wisdom.
murdered.
Wisdom.
But that's just
Oh,
my guess.
like a riot.
I appear to have a wisdom-shaped frog in my throat. Wisdom.
I know, isn't that a shame? You're just gonna have to get that coughed out, I guess. Because the DM told you what to roll. Alistair, you know, actually, that the mood of the carnival is very closely monitored by Mr. Light.
Okay.
Not only that, but the people, or the person, singular, who brings the greatest joy to the carnival is the one crowned as the witchlight monarch at the end of the night.
I tell the group that.
I will also say that with the 16, you know that Mr. Light monitors the carnival's mood through the use of his magical vein.
Is magical what?
Vein, V-A-N-E.
Oh,
It's
like a
like
weather
a
vane. Yeah.
Just like a weather vane, exactly. Essentially a little scepter he holds.
I think everyone should have mood rings so that we can tell when the carnival is sad.
Well, you can always just look in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
I meant in character.
I
Valid.
would tell the group. I would also be like, "Hey, while we were in there looking for Reuben, it wasn't the first time I looked for a Reuben. You know, they're good. They're okay. Yeah, moving on."
Candlefoot goes.
But yeah, we saw me and Reuben, we saw a little creature girl, like a goblin girl, wearing a pig mask. She was creepy as fuck. Do you know anything about that? And I look over at Candlefoot.
Most humanoids do look creepy.
No, sorry. She was in the mirror. Like, she was in the reflection.
As Candlefoot.
Candlefoot, do people ever go in and then not come out?
Alistair, roll me an insight check really quickly.
Okay.
Alistair, on a 21, you know 2 things about Candlefoot. 1, he is deeply superstitious, and 2, he is terrified as hell of the Hall of Illusions.
The thing he runs.
The thing he runs.
Huh.
So when you ask that question, Candlefoot's like,
Okay, question for out of character. Do people traditionally go missing here? Like, or is there a missing persons board? Like, or like...
So, actually, Alistair, I'm gonna go off of your 16 intelligence check from earlier. You know that, like, missing things, either objects or people, have been a little bit common as of late. Certainly, concerningly so. You don't know of anyone who went missing in the Hall of Illusions specifically, but you know Durlagron's son went missing.
Yes.
And there's also one of the head witchlight hands, a giant named Burley. His brother went missing just a few months ago.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just a few weeks ago.
How often would you say people don't come out, Candlefoot? Like, 10%? Hold up a number. All the time. Oh. Maybe we should shut down the Hall of Illusions and stop letting people go in there if they keep going missing? Now, Candlefoot, I know you're scared of the Hall of Illusions, and I know it's spooky and all that. I get it. Do they really go missing all the time, or are you being hyperbolic? All the time. Okay. I look at the party and I go,
Alistair, with that 21, no.
no,
It's
okay.
not all the time.
I couldn't
Alright.
hear. What did you say?
What part?
Not you, Joe.
Oh, I said that with that 21, Alistair got, it's not all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So I look at the party and I'm like, well, I don't know how often it happens, but I'll tell you, there was a little goblin gremlin girl trying to persuade a halfling to go with her, and I'm guessing he would have went missing, like some of these other people have gone missing. So that's not great. What were you saying that I knew about? You said that we had to compare notes because I knew something. I don't know what I know. It was something about the tickets, and I was going to ask. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just ask in character. Candlefoot, when you lost your voice, had you snuck into the carnival or gone in without a ticket on your day off? Huh? Because these people are all missing something, and I guess that was a thing. As far as I'm getting southern sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, as far as from what I gathered, if you enter in without your butterfly wings or you enter in without a ticket, something's taken from you.
Say, What if the creature who was taking things from people who didn't have wings has started just to become more devouring and take things or people, not just things?
Oh, wait, that's a good point. If I take the description of the childlike mysterious figure that I saw, no, that's blue. And the one that you saw was green. So they're definitely, they're not even like the same species, probably.
What
They
did
do not match up
that
at all.
guy's son look like? Have you ever
Probably-
seen... I wonder
What's
if
the-
anyone's ever else seen other people in the mirrors.
Probably another shifter, or I think that's what he was
Yeah,
called.
I would guess it.
I was gonna say
Durlagon
another
would probably be a
displacer.
Displacer. that's what it is.
displacer, yeah.
That is absolutely correct. Durlagon would not have given birth to a human. I guess
So-
Durlagon's partner?
Okay.
So, the party has an idea of what happened to Candlefoot's voice, and potentially something to chase after. And additionally, the party has rescued Reuben the Halfling and reunited him with his lover, Ween. Which is a stupid name for a halfling, and I should have changed it, but I didn't think of that in time.
Just reminds me of Halloween.
I was about
Oh,
to say.
that's-
Or
cute.
Eeny Weeny.
Hopefully they never break up, or he'll have to wean himself off of him.
Ah.
Boo.
And now I fly away.
I don't carry
Anyway.
a drum set. Sorry.
Anyway,
Said
so we're gonna go ahead and move on. Where is the party headed next?
To where they were pointed at. To the
no.
orchard.
Orchard.
I will
Alright.
say, we want to, like, it is my day off, and we, like, explore the carnival as well as go looking for hints. I feel like we did skip over a bunch of stuff, and now I'm kind of regretting it, because, you know, day off.
So Laura's eyes get really big, and she says in a tiny voice, "You can do whatever you want, but I think that finding what I lost is more important than checking out this place. I mean, if we choose to, when we get our things back, we could enjoy the festival."
Well, we're almost halfway. We're about a third through.
Well,
And I'm more saying just if we're passing things anyway. So,
So
like,
Zalora just starts walking away.
Yeah, Amara's gonna follow after.
Are we
I
going
mean, you
back
don't
the way
have
we-
to
are
stay
we
with
going
us.
back? What?
You don't have to stay with us. We all came here for a reason. If we're interrupting your day off,
But
you don't have to feel obligated.
there's the whole our tickets came together thing. And,
That
like,
doesn't require us to stay together.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I-
Saying that
I'm-
you're not welcome, I'm just saying, like, if
yeah,
we're
I mean,
holding you
you
back,
you don't have anything missing, so I mean, it's nice that you're here, but if you're not missing anything, then you don't have to solve the mystery if you don't want. I mean,
No,
you
now
could.
I'm worried that if I'm included with y'all and I'm like, my ticket was in there, maybe I've lost something and I don't know I've lost it. I've lost what I've lost, or maybe I'm overthinking it. But
Well, if that's true, then wouldn't you want to find it? I mean, you.
I was more saying we should still do it, but if we're gonna pass by things, we could, like, multitask. Like, that's all I was kind of like, in the way that you guys were talking to Candlefoot, but also finding Reuben
Well-
led us to the clue of the girl who's making people go missing. If we hadn't actually gone inside the Hall of Illusions, we never would have found the girl in the mirror.
Well, we happen to see that. So yeah, but here's the thing is, I'm going to go somewhere where there's a clue now. There's more chances of finding something. Now, you work here. You can come back whenever you want. You know, I'm not just going to go wandering around to stop other bad things from happening and ignoring the one thing that brings me closer to getting back my song.
I never said wander around. I just meant, for example, we are right next to the Pixie Kingdom. We'd stop in there, see if there's any bad juju, anything going on, and then we'd head towards east. I'm not saying we wouldn't go east towards the eating area. I was just saying we could make pit stops on the way east because we're passing things. But we don't have to. I'll stick with you. Just a thought.
I will say also, Alistair, you know both that the Bubble Pop Teapot, as well as the Dragonfly Rise near the Feasting Orchard, gives someone a very good aerial view of the entire carnival.
I understand at a game that what Kyle's saying makes sense, but Zalora would not be stopping randomly to check things out when she has a clue that could bring her closer right away. Like,
No,
if she
I
saw
have a
someone being stabbed along her way, yes, she'd stop and help, maybe. But she wouldn't go looking for in alleys expecting someone to be stabbed so she could stop it like a superhero.
When Alistair makes the suggestion to like use one of the taller rides to look up, Amara turns to to see if Cedric is there, and then he's gone. And instantly, her plan falls.
Zalora just leans over, and is like, he does that sometimes. He'll come back. I bet he'll have more information. Let's head over to where we're going.
Alistair has a good point, though. Now, the only reason we can't even describe this little creature is because we don't have a good description other than what Cedric saw. If Cedric could somehow pull me up, I could sketch if we find the creature again. But I don't know what I'm looking for without Cedric.
Cedric isn't too far off. You could yell at him.
No, you just said you were flying towards the feasting orchard. Or no, so you were flying towards the gondola swans.
Again, not too far off. He had just flown off.
Oh, okay.
It's not like I'm teleporting.
Okay.
I don't know what your fucking wing speed is.
He's
my wing
not
speed is the
flying
same
any
as my
faster
walking
than y'all
speed.
walk.
Oh,
Exactly. It's just height. Yeah, it's the exact same movement speed. It's just it's away from the crowds.
Cedric, as you fly up, you do hear one of the attendants, one of the hands of the carnival, calls up and says, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
This is a no flying zone.
Just watch where you're flying, please. There's bubbles and dragonflies all over the place.
I'm aware.
The Witchlight Carnival is not held liable for any injuries you may sustain while flying around the bubble pot teapot or the giant dragonflies."
Cedric gives a nod.
By purchasing a ticket, you've agreed to this waiver!
Amazing.
I don't feel like running after him, so maybe this is a later Plan B thing. Let's just go to the feasting orchard, and I mean, we're not saying that we won't explore other things, but right now we have a lead, Alistair, and we have to follow that lead until we don't have another lead anymore.
Yeah. That's fine.
As much as I would like to enjoy the carnival, I am also technically here on business. Professionalism comes before fun.
So, me saying I want to enjoy it on my day off is my thing, but I meant for you guys would still be doing the investigation while, that it's all good. No big
Wave
deal.
to our shifter friend at Lost and Found.
We should probably not go down that way. We already went that way, technically.
Lacron's tentacle waves back to you.
So we should probably go left so that we can actually see new things.
So
I just think.
He heads towards the gondola swamp, but I'm actually heading to this place. I realized I got the wrong name.
Well, I mean, the Gondola Swans and Silver Song Lake are in the same area.
Yeah, I'm just saying specifically which one he's heading to.
I'm gonna swing by Lost Property one more time, though.
And
now
Zalora,
that
I will remind you that Palacia told you that her actual performance occurs at hours 3 and 6.
What time is it?
It is the 3rd hour.
Oh, fuck
shit.
this. I'm going.
So Cedric,
So now seeing the show is more important than the mission.
Well, this
okay.
is a way to it. A way
It's a
to the
sister
feasting
thing.
orchard. I just gotta cross this little bridge, so it's like we're doing two things at once.
I would say we should do okay, whatever. I'll drop it.
So Cedric and Zalora, I know, are headed like in the direction intentionally of the swans and the lake. Is Amara going with them?
Yes.
Where are Alistair and Gordon going?
I was also going to head towards Gondola because I'll follow Cedric, but I was cutting through here because I just wanted to see what was going on here.
Okay. And what is Gordon doing?
actually, now that everyone's split off, I was going to go back to Lost Property and inquire about an item that I didn't want to bring up in front of my clients.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do Gordon's first really quickly. So Gordon, you're headed back to the Lost and Found to speak to Durlagron.
Correct.
Fantastic. As you approach, Durlagron turns to face you. The two children are not there anymore. They've probably been reunited with their mother and headed off towards the rest of the carnival. Durlagron gives you his full attention. Can I help you?
Yeah, you see, I wanted to ask about another thing you might have. I just didn't want to do it in front of clientele, professionalism, and all that.
I can understand that.
About, what was it, 16 years ago, me and a friend, being kids, lost a couple items, and I was hoping that maybe her thing might still be here.
You're going to have to be more specific than her thing.
He
I
gets
also
a little...
don't want to give you any false hope. 16 years is a long time for something to sit in my wagon.
I realize that, but, just, worth a shot.
I owe
and he
you
kinda-
and your friends a favor. Many favors. I will happily search for this object.
It'd be a little stuffed rabbit. It might have a name written on it somewhere. He leans in, like, to whisper, almost embarrassed. Mr. Bun?
A well-loved stuffed rabbit. Truly a shame to lose. Allow me to search. Durlagron is going to go sifting through the lost property. Stuffed dragon? No. Stuffed elephant? No. Stuffed mind flayer? Where did that one come from?
Cute.
What? I want a plushie mind flayer now.
After about a minute, Durlagron walks back out of the wagon and says, I apologize, my friend. There is no such object within my wagon.
I understand. I just figured it'd be worth a shot. I was hoping it wasn't tied to what we're doing, but unfortunately that seems to be the case. Thank you for your time. If I swing back by, would you like a snack? Maybe?
I actually just had some of those delicious pixie tarts, but thank you for the offer. You were very generous.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, my good man. And, guess I'm gonna head off and... I forgot, can't do that. Head off in this direction.
Durlagron will actually stop you and say, if you... This is embarrassing to ask. You mentioned that you were here on business, searching for lost things.
Correct.
Might I ask you to search for one more?
His son. Dun, dun.
Of course, I wouldn't mind.
It has been 2 months since my son, Star, disappeared from the carnival. And I fear that my hope is dwindling. If by chance you come across a displacer beast cub, might I trouble you to bring him back to me?
Not at all, my friend. Missing persons is one of my specialties.
Durlagron is going to reach into his wagon. He's going to pull out that same mirrored ball and say, take this with you then.
Okay, that's gonna...
I know not what has happened to him in my absence, but I know that he will remember this. And with luck, he will remember my love.
Right. I'm just gonna put that in my backpack as an orb, so I know what it is.
Cute.
Alrighty. I will definitely keep an eye out and let you know as soon as I find anything.
Thank you, friend. And Gordon heads off. Alistair, you find yourself in a small courtyard surrounded by a variety of games. Of particular note, you find are one with a large cyclops seated upon the ground, challenging all comers to a staring contest. As of right now, you see a young girl, probably about 11 or 12 years old, who is very determinedly staring this 7-foot-tall cyclops down. You don't know if she's winning or not, but she sure is determined. Additionally, in that same area, you see... what is it in... You see a collection of caged cockatrices. with with a young elven witchlight hand who is running the guess the number of feathers stand.
Save that bird.
I don't actually play. I just walk by and I yell 385.
You hear back, "Hey, Buttons, shut up and stop helping." You then hear a young boy say, 385. That's a prize for the little boy. Thanks, Buttons.
I do finger guns to the kid.
The kid looks at you and goes, as he tries to finger gun back at you.
Don't teach him about guns.
No.
That's not proper gun safety. Meanwhile, Cedric, Zalora, and Amara are approaching the lake. And as you approach, you hear a melodic voice dancing across the air. A massive crowd has gathered at Silversong Lake to hear Palacia's performance. She seems to have also only recently started, as she's still in the opening chords of her song. As her voice lilts through the air, you see that the water, both of the lake and her bowl, have begun to rise up into the air and are forming small crystalline chimes that resonate with the sound of her voice, harmonizing and catching the light from the various strings and casting prismatic shadows over both Palacia and the gathered audience.
You just see Zalora, like, attempt to, like, hum, and you just hear, like, grumbles and, like, a tear falls down her face, and she pulls out her gall and just lightly strums it to the tune of the singing.
Audience participation is frowned upon.
Whoa.
Zalora, actually give me a performance check if you would be so kind.
Amara is going to watch this very intently and have her hand on her lute.
Zalora, the gathered audience seems too focused on Palacia to notice you, but as you play softly, you look across and you see Palacia herself look up and lock eyes with you, and you see an expression of deep sympathy before she resumes her performance. It's also at around that time that the three of you hear, "Boo! I've heard better songs from a seashell!"
I will fight that man.
Zalora just turns and goes,
I'm gonna need anyone who wants to give me a perception check to see if you know where that voice is coming from.
May I roll an
Palacia,
advantage?
I'm sorry, what?
May I roll an advantage?
Are you still in the air?
Yes.
You know what, Cedric? Actually, yes. Roll it for me with advantage. Palacia stutters kind of in her song. You all get the impression that she's not used to heckling.
Zalora clocks this fucking person right away.
But she picks it back up. She picks herself back up, and continues the song. Let me find something really quickly.
What, Cedric? We need to have a talk.
Oh no!
Zalora hisses.
I love that. I love that she's just hissing over here.
It's so weird. When I have us full screened on Discord, we'll glitch out like we're robots unless I move my mouse around in a circular pattern. Just so fucking weird.
So that is going to be... Zalora, you know the direction that voice is coming from. There's a lot of people gathered, but you recognize the voice. Sound is always something you've been able to pick out really well, even after the loss of your song. And you know the voice you heard was a male dwarf, probably middle-aged. And you can start heading towards the crowd to find where that voice is coming from.
And I say she looks really angry and like she gets really intense, and you just see her start pushing through the crowd towards the voice. Like, no fucks given.
You do see that Palacia notices you doing this, but continues her song, but there's a bit of there's an undercurrent of concern there now.
Mm-hmm.
Zalora, as you're pushing through to find where you heard the voice, Palacia has continued her song and is starting up with the second rendition of it, and you hear, "Boo! Go back to the sea!"
So Laura, I don't think now is the time.
Zalora, that was a different voice that you heard this time. Give me another perception check, everyone, because Amara and Cedric did not know where the first one was coming from.
Thank you, Cedric!
Oh, Amara.
On that one, Cedric, you actually can tell where that one's coming from, which is near to where the first one was. And you're able to get Zalora's attention and point her where it's coming from. Zalora,
Do that. We don't start right here.
Cedric isn't aware that they're there.
Oh, Cedric doesn't know that Zalora and Amara are there.
Because he went off by
Okay.
himself first.
So Zalora, Cedric, you actually see the person who's doing it this time. You see what looks like an older gnome. Probably you would say about, I don't know what old age for a gnome is. The equivalent of a 70-year-old human. Who is standing on a box and saying that. And as you watch, that same gnome jumps down, grabs his box, and disappears into the crowd. Zalora, something strikes you as odd. The voice was different, but the cadence of the words was identical. The way the person spoke was the same.
There's someone actually trying to ruin her performance by pretending to be other people. It's the same person.
And I'm going to need one final perception check when, again, from the crowd, still near, but a different part of it, a young elven woman's voice rings out and says, "Who taught you how to sing, Trout?"
Wow. I am just not noticing anything. Mermaid song, too pretty.
At that one, all three of you were somewhat distracted from looking for this person, because at that third bit of heckling, Palacia stops singing entirely, and Zalora, you see her holding back tears as she jumps out of her bowl and swims down southward along the river.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Dear.
So Laura immediately wants to go after her, but she also wants to catch this heckler.
Zalora, you on a 13 see a shape running out of the crowd. That shape, you can't quite tell who they are, is running through the courtyard over here to the southeast.
Okay.
Right where I am?
Right to where Alistair is.
Man, I had to ask her. I guess I'm flying after the fish.
And as
So Cedric is chasing after Palacia. Zalora, do you want to chase the figure you see?
yes.
Fantastic.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see him running after her or flying after her?
See Cedric?
Yeah.
He's a giant red flying person. You see him going
Okay.
after Palacia.
I'll-
There's
I'll-
no perception
I'll
check needed.
clock that because I think I have this, and I think that I can catch him and drag him over to her and console her later once I catch them.
Gordon, I see you've approached as well. Give me a perception check as you get nearer.
Deep, there it is.
Deep, derp, derp, derp.
I am in pain.
Gordon, there's a commotion going on.
Oh dear.
There's a bunch of things happening. You're not sure what's going on.
Dear.
Okay, what is Amara doing?
Amara is running after Zalora, trying to, if a fight does, trying to either stop a fight or if a fight does start, mitigate.
Gotcha. Alistair, I'm gonna want you also to give me a perception check really quickly. Actually, either perception or insight, your choice.
Definitely perception.
Woof! Alright. Alistair, as you're coming out of the courtyard, you see someone running out of the crowd by Silversong Lake. This person is... Alistair's been with the carnival for a while, I think. Alistair knows the look of a troublemaker when he sees one. And this young elven woman running out of the crowd of Silversong Lake is a troublemaker.
Do you have wings?
She does have wings. Yes, she has a pair of butterfly wings. I will say also that Alistair can see Zalora and Amara also running out of the crowd a bit behind, probably chasing after this same figure.
I would like to try to trip her with my big bunny legs or my big bunny tail.
With your big old bunny legs.
I have a question. Near where that creature is there any water around?
Is there any water around? Yes, there is. Because you have... Oh, God. What's happening? You have this lake right here. This river that runs through.
Can I use shape water to slide water and, like, turn it to ice so they slip and fall down? Like, not enough to cause damage, but to just slow it down?
So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Alistair to give me an athletics check. And I'm going to ask Zalora to give me a spell attack roll and sort of a modified shove attempt.
Oh.
Because I do have literally shape water, but it...
Right.
Yeah.
And that is definitely what you would be using in this case.
Okay. This doesn't really have it to hit.
I was hoping to use dexterity, but I will do an athletics, my man.
Let's go.
Hmm?
Look at you.
Alistair, why have you stolen all of Gordon's luck from him?
Oh no, this started yesterday. I got the living hell beat out of me yesterday. It just hasn't stopped.
Oh, right, that sucks. How's that spell attack coming along, Zalora?
I will do a spell attack.
Give me. Thank you.
It'll be a dirty 20.
Fantastic.
I know that says Ray of Frost, but that's not what it is. It's just...
Oh, sure, it's your spell attack.
Yeah.
So, Zalora, as you're running forward to catch this person, you see Alistair there, and you call up. It's not in the form of song, but it's in the form... Actually, no. What does this look like as Zalora casts Shape Water? How does she do it?
And I said it almost looks like the light dazzling off of, like, the water on the sunset, like, shoots out from her, and almost like a wave, like, of light comes out, and it scoops the water up, and then it just freezes, so it's almost like, swoop, and he slips right under their feet, so that they
You
can
create this slick on the ground that this person runs directly over and completely loses their footing, which makes it very easy for Alistair as he comes up the other side. Alistair, how do you trip them?
I bounce off my tail backwards, and then I stick my one leg out right in front of them.
Incredible.
I do a Tigger, and then I use my foot.
This person is already off balance, and they just go tumbling heels overhead as Alistair sticks his leg out. And the strangest thing happens as they go tumbling is you see, as they roll, the countenance of an elven woman slides off of them like water. And what you have instead is a Kenku.
Bitch.
That would be why it was repeating, too.
Specifically this Kenku.
Oh, let me flash it up, baby. Kenku. A very
She's
wet Kenku now.
now. Well, no, it was ice, not
Yeah,
water.
that's true.
However, a very ruffled Kenku. And the Kenku gets up onto her hands and knees, and she looks over at Alistair, and she says, weirdly, what's the big idea? Alistair. That's Candlefoot's voice she's speaking in.
Oh, shit.
You recognize it instantly.
Hmm.
At this point, Amara and Gordon, you've seen the whole thing happen. Amara, Zalora, and Gordon have caught up with this. Even with the 5, Gordon, you've seen this whole affair.
Mara
So
and
Laura-
her little legs.
Zalora gets right up in their face and is like, "What do you think you're doing, trying to?"
Whoa, hey, come on, what's the big idea? Calm down, there's no need for that.
Is this still Candlefoot's voice?
Still Candlefoot's voice.
I get up in his face, which I really can't do, but I stand on my tail. I use my tail to give myself a couple extra inches
Oh
or
my
a couple
God.
extra feet.
Oh my god. Do you want me? Should I lift you? Would that help?
If you lift me, can you pretend you're not there, though? So that way then it's not like you're lifting me?
Zalora's
Sure.
like, "What do you want me to do? Go back to the sea?"
Yeah, so it's me trying to have a funny moment.
Oh, all right, just calm down. I don't want any trouble, and you're all apparently very violent. Wow.
Then why were you attempting to ruin her song?
Look, it was only
Zalora.
personal against her, all right? It's just this whole damn place is screwed up.
Is
Zalora.
that the reason why you stole the mime's voice?
Actually, it's
you
someone to
don't know
talk
he
with.
stole the mine's voice. I haven't said that yet. I haven't told the party that yet.
In fairness,
But we also
Candlefoot
We mimed it,
explained that
yeah.
we
a
have-
bird, a tall bird, stole his voice.
Okay, that's fair.
And
That's fair.
now this Kenku is speaking with, like, the voice of a young man.
Okay. Sure.
So it's a fair inference for them to make.
Okay.
So should I intimidate him?
Are you
usurp
aware
her.
that correlation does not make causation, my fine feathered whatever the hell you are?
Actually,
I'm
yes,
not
Zalora,
scary.
Oh no! So the Kenku says, all right. Look. And then tries to run away.
I'm very dexterous
Ice.
and very and fast.
Think
You
they
absolutely are. You
forgot there's
absolutely
ice
are.
underneath his feet.
No, she slipped out from past the ice. However, I am going to allow anyone who wants to make either an athletics check or an acrobatics check to stop her.
Yes, I also have 40-foot movement and I have my rabbit hop.
Oh, good lord.
How about a 21 to stop that friggin' Kenku?
Using my
Yasum.
12 to help.
She turns to run, and you just step over and you stomp on that hem of her dress. It just goes, "Crap!" and completely lands on her back.
So Laura leans over and is like, "It would be silly to not take me seriously."
All right.
I say,
All right.
if we're gonna do some interrogation, we surround her like a circle. That's the 5 of us make a circle, so she
The
can't run.
Kenku crosses her arms, still laying on her back on the ground, and is like, fine.
If for some
Look.
reason you actually manage to escape, I can assure you I will find you.
Wow.
I have a particular set of skills.
Actually do, I'm a ranger with Hunter's Mark.
Give me an intimidation check. Laura.
Can I help her? Because
you absolutely can give the help action.
They,
as
I find
my
that
teeth
funny, I
grow
was also
sharp
going to lean
and I
in,
bear them at
and
her.
missing people are what I specialize in, sweetie.
Amara, on a 13, the Kenku does not seem to have a whole lot of fight in her left, and she goes, alright, whatever, fine. Look, something is screwy here. The owners are keeping secrets, and until they tell me what those secrets are, I'm gonna keep screwing their carnival over, alright?
By stealing something that belongs to somebody else?
Okay, that was borrowing, first of all. I didn't steal anything. I borrowed it.
You borrowed it in the middle of a confession of love.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, that was funny. That was funny. You have to admit that was funny.
Well, how do you plan to give it back, and how did you steal it in the first place? Or borrow it?
Magic, doy.
Have you been stealing other things?
What? No. I mean, there was an apple.
Oh.
And a tart.
So,
And
you're
that
a
kid's
bird.
balloons.
What do you need the voice for?
So I can talk. Doy.
So you don't normally
I'm a
talk.
fucking Kenku.
I don't know what that means.
Kenku's mimic.
Yeah, they can only...
Y'all froze up for me, so.
Oh.
Okay, so I heard up until I said, because I'm a Kenku, the doy.
And Amara went, shrug? I don't know what that means.
And then we said
Okay,
Kenku's
okay,
mimic.
so my people can normally only speak in mimicry, right? So I took a combination of my mimicry and a combination of my magic, and then I made it... I just stole a whole voice. I just stole a whole voice. Look, magic is awesome, alright? What am I gonna do?
So
What
I
do you want
think
me to
what
say?
we have here, then, if you're not stealing other things, I know you're a Kenku, and you're black, but it seems like you're more of a red
Her
herring.
eyes get really big, and then she, like, breathes a sigh of relief.
I hate everything about this.
Literally mid-talking, Jess! I
That's
was literally mid-sentence!
I am so
she
glad
said-
I am not there.
Oh god.
On my side,
Ah.
you were not talking, and I was just like...
Okay,
Ah.
did anybody hear me?
No, I
I
heard you
heard
say
it.
it,
You
Kyle.
heard it.
Yeah.
So the Kenku says, okay. Do I get to know your names at least? If you're gonna
We can
interrogate
steal yours?
me?
It depends. If you know our names, are you going to steal our voices?
What? That is not how it works.
Well, then explain to us how it works.
He did.
Fine. The
She
Kenku
did.
says, first of all, Kettlestein, you can call me by my name. Second of all, she's gonna reach into her pack and pull out what looks like a small voodoo doll.
Are you a black cattle?
I do call a whole lot of pots black. It's a little doll made from a corn husk with a thorny stem tied around its neck. And she says, this is the voice, alright? As long as I have it, as long as the stem is tied, then I have his voice.
Where did you learn this?
Oh, where did you learn it? Okay, no, stop. It's fine. It's fine. I'll tell you. You're scary. You have teeth. My patron taught me. Okay, I'm a warlock of Zybilna, and she taught me how to do all kinds of cool stuff like that.
Are you a worker here? Or are you
No,
just...
I don't work at the stupid carnival. Are you kidding me? No. Look, something is screwy with my patron over in the Feywild, and I know that this carnival has something to do with it.
Do they not have
Well,
wings
so-
on?
What?
Kettlestein is wearing wings.
Okay.
Will say, as an employee, the carnival is always weird, but there's been weird stuff going on, but it's not the carnival. Like stuff has been happening, but as far as I'm aware, it's not the carnival's doing.
When you say that, she's gonna look over at you, and she is going to open her mouth. And, Alistair, you recognize it without a shadow of a doubt, Mr. Light's voice. Someone is going to find out about this! They'll shut us down! And then you hear Mr. Witch's voice. We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return we stay in business. That is what you want, right? And then she closes her mouth again.
Fuck.
Okay, well,
What the
that's
fuck
come
is an
out.
Hourglass Coven? What are they hiding? They're not gonna tell me, so I'm not gonna stop fucking their carnival.
I will fill in the party, and I'll say, so those two voices were Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, the Witchlight
Can
Carnival.
I do
people.
an insight to see if I think that's real? Because we know
You
that they do
absolutely can.
voice magic, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. You can either give me an insight or a history check. One
Oh,
or the other.
I did insight.
On an insight, you know, you don't see any hint that she's lying to you with this. She is at least devout in her belief that this is true.
What was the word that you said? Hourglass Coven?
Hourglass Coven.
Can I or we do, like, history or anything to see if we've heard of that before?
Sure, go right ahead. Roll me either a history or arcana check.
Just him, or?
Anyone can do this, though I will tell you it is extremely unlikely any of you will succeed.
I'm sure.
Nope.
Nah.
Negative.
Sure, why not?
Nat 20.
Huh.
But better than real.
So actually, Amara has a bit of a hint. Amara, you know that a coven is a common name for either a group of witches or a group of hags. You don't know what Hourglass Coven refers to, though. I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and we're going to move just a little bit further down the way.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot Cedric wasn't here. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah, there's a fishy.
Can I drag this over?
Palacia, I shall avenge you.
This is not working. Okay, whatever. I was gonna pull Palacia as a token, but she's a handout, not a character, so it didn't work. Regardless, Cedric, you are flying overhead, and you find it takes you a little while, but Palacia is like a bright silver mermaid, so she's not hard to find. You find her behind these stalls over here, and she is currently sobbing to herself on the bank of the river.
Cedric's going to fly down, landing beside her, seeing how she reacts to it, demon landing next to her.
So she, as you get closer, she says, she doesn't seem to respond to you, she's just crying.
Cedric will land, finally land, kneels down and asks her what's wrong. Clearly already knowing, but just trying.
I just don't know why someone would say those things. And I know that I shouldn't let it get to me. I know that I'm better than that. But it's just a lot.
Do you think it was multiple people or one?
I don't know. I know that one of them sounded like... Cedric, give me a persuasion check, if you would be so kind.
Let me move it to normal real quick, because there's an advantage. Cedric, why?
Oh.
Oh no.
Cedric, why?
So you're trying to get more information out of her. Actually, Cedric, tell me what you say. She said it sounded, one of those voices sounded like, and then she broke off. How does Cedric put his foot in his mouth?
Cedric would ask, who did he sound like? I heard him mimic a few voices.
So you ask that, and Palacia, takes in a deep, shuddering breath, and then just starts crying even harder.
My charisma is not saving me.
Is Cedric going to try to do anything else to, comfort Palacia?
I'm gonna look at spells real quick.
Yeah,
Sing
absolutely.
a song. Sing a song. Sing a song.
No, I can
Turn this
interpret
into a
without
musical
one.
somehow, guys.
Stop that.
How dare you tell me to stop it, Wyatt?
You know
Not
what?
you.
I'm gonna take that advice. That's a performance roll, right?
Yeah, I think that Cedric can, start to maybe hum the same song she was singing earlier?
Yes.
Or are you singing something more important to you personally?
Trying to mimic the song from before.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a performance check, Cedric.
Come on, Cedric.
You can do
something good
it.
for us. Okay.
That's it. Change your digital dice right now.
You can.
Cedric, you start trying to hum, and, Palacia, like, through her sobbing, turns to you and she says, "Is that how I sounded?"
No, this is the fact
Oh,
that I am
no.
awful at everything I do today.
gonna
You
say-
sounded wonderful.
To show you how good she is by sounding so
It's
awful.
probably just being around me. I'm only bringing sadness. People used to be happy when they heard me sing. So that's what's happening with you, Cedric.
Trust me, from the look of the crowds, from what I saw, people enjoyed your singing. It was just one fool.
But I only brought him misfortune. Cedric, give me one final persuasion check to try to turn her mood around.
Oh
I
dear.
hate this game.
Oh my god!
You're so
Can I get one
fudged.
more, please?
You know what? Give me that last one with advantage, because Cedric should be good, particularly at helping aquatic folk.
Yeah, it's kind
Like,
of
There you go.
I was gonna say, I kind of feel like the algorithm's trying
Say
to
maybe
screw
maybe you think back to how I was when you found me.
There we go.
So Cedric, you land on something that works. What is your winning tactic with making Palacia feel better?
I'm gonna ask Zalora what is my winning tactic. What would make Zalora feel better?
Oh.
What?
I think that you'd be like,
Laura's not there.
I think Kyle missed the point of what I did.
yeah.
A little bit, but it's okay. Keep going.
I think to make her feel better, you would say that she's the only one who could do this, and that she's bringing the pure song of the water and the ocean, which land dwellers could never hear, and showing them the true magic of the water. And that's something only she could do here in this place, because no other mermaid would be willing or have the talent to do so.
Cedric, help me synopsize that for what you say to
Yeah.
Palacia.
In a little less, like, fancy words, Cedric would say no one else can do what you do, and it shows that from the people here experiencing something so beautiful for the first time, that it's clear that you are better than what you are currently thinking.
Palacia takes in a few shuddering breaths, and something seems to cross her eyes as she looks at you, and she says, An impossibility in a world of impossibilities. That's what Mr. Light called me when I first joined the carnival. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have... You're a guest here. I shouldn't have dumped all this on you.
It's
You
fine.
get it?
I've dealt with it before, as he gives me a smile.
I can tell a little bit. Thank you for staying here. It's been hard recently. Someone very dear to me lost something very precious, and he hasn't shown himself around me since.
Wait, you mean the mime?
Candlefoot? Yes, I do. Why? Have you spoken to him? Have you seen him? Is he doing well?
He's doing quite well. He's
Oh,
trying
that's
to find his voice to tell you something.
I hope so. Her tail waves around in the water a bit. I hope he finds it. And we are going to pop back to the rest of the party, still inquiring with Kettlesteam. At Kettlesteam's request, unless you'll say otherwise, you have maneuvered yourselves over around to this rock. Oh, sorry. To this rock. To just have a bit more privacy while she gets interrogated.
Mm-hmm. It's like, is there anything else you know?
I just know that Candlefoot voice. I just know that I haven't been able to reach my patron in a very long time. Which, again, super bad for someone who's normally very close to their patron.
So Laura's eyes kind of squint and it's like, I understand it could be a bit isolating to be away from someone you're close from. Kind of like Kettleburn and his lady. Candlefoot. Sorry.
Okay, well, if you're trying to make me feel sympathetic or whatever, I don't.
You
I thought
realize
it was funny.
that you're going to have to give it back.
I mean, I'm gonna eventually.
No.
Look, Candlefoot gets his voice back, and I stop bothering the carnival when Witch and Light tell me what I want to know.
So, I have a question about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you have your wings on now.
Yeah.
Have you been to the carnival before? Have you ever come here without wings?
I would never go willingly into this carnival unless I had to do something. And no, it's like a rule, right? That you don't go into the carnival without a ticket and wings? Like, I don't do that.
Okay.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Why, did you do that?
Okay, I was wondering if that's maybe you could have
Did
lost
you do
your
that,
picture.
though?
What?
What happened to you? Did you go in without wings?
Nothing happened to me as far as I know, but these people, and I point to the group, and I'm like, they all did it.
Oh.
And I say, we've all lost something, and we're trying to figure out what's going on here too. But none of us have stolen from others to make that happen.
Oh my god, and that makes you what? More moral than me? More just?
Well, no, but it does kind of make you just as bad as Witch and Light, because if the carnival has taken things from people and you're taking things from people, then you're no better than the carnival.
Got a point.
Alistair,
Not to
give me
mention, I would like to point out, you just admitted to rather, ironically, a person of law that you are trying to sabotage a legal business. Would you like to recant those words? Would you like to be a little more cooperative, sweetie?
I would like to
the DM?
personally say fuck you. Alistair,
Wow.
roll me a persuasion check with advantage when you make that point about her being just as bad as the carnival because she stole something. That's way better than a 1!
Would you like an inspiration?
Kettlesteam looks at you, Alistair, and goes, fuck, that's a good point.
Say, Zalora leans forward and she's like, we're trying to figure out what's going on too. Please return his voice, and why don't you join us?
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. Look, I'll give the stupid Mime his voice back. Y'all are gonna help me figure out what's up with this carnival, right?
And you have to apologize to the mermaid.
Fine.
Have you
She takes a little-
messed with anybody else at the carnival similarly to how you messed with the mermaid?
I spooked a giant dragonfly pretty recently. Alistair, what's your passive perception?
Pretty good. I think it's like a 15. Let's see. It's a 15.
It's a 15. With a 15 passive perception, you hear a distant. You look over and you see like a stout dwarven figure who's like hanging onto the reins for dear life of a wildly out of control giant dragonfly that is zooming through the sky. And Kettlesteam's like, yeah, that was me.
We might want to have Cedric look into that later.
I stole a kid's balloons. I stole an apple from someone.
And what part of that actually helped your cause?
I'm making Witch and Light's life miserable.
It
That's
seems
the
more
point.
like you're
That's-
making the carnival people who have jobs who are employed miserable, where the managers themselves don't care.
Okay, see,
No,
here's actually the fun part, is that I know for a fact Light keeps an eye on the mood of the carnival, so, like, it is making his life miserable, and if it makes the hands miserable too, that's just a bonus, baby.
Yeah, if they're bothering the employees and the patrons, and that way then the carnival has a negative reputation.
And Witch and Light don't want that, do they? No, they want to keep their carnival in good standing.
Well,
And
that's the
they
whole
can't-
thing. The reason I love the carnival's supposed to be about fun and wonder and whimsy. But if they're doing shady shit and like dark shit and stealing things, that ain't right.
Okay, look, whatever. Look, she pulls the corn husk doll out and she unties the thorny stem from its neck. And she pulls it off and is like, there, see?
All right. Well, it's time to go apologize to the mermaid, and then we will continue on our quest.
Well, you gotta go
It's
talk to
time to
Candlefoot,
go.
too,
She
but-
says in literally exactly Zalora's voice, it's time to go apologize to the mime.
I'm just saying, if we agree to help you, just know that we are not going to be helping you by doing what you have been doing. I would rather go directly to the source if there is a problem.
Also, we've noticed a bit of what is the word I'm looking for? Mischief being made, where things are being stolen from people who don't have wings on.
Well, then we'd also mention that the two different figures we saw, the one that Cedric saw and the one that I saw.
So we're gonna actually cut from here really quickly, as I had difficulty doing the mimicry of Kenku's, over to Cedric and Palacia. Palacia at this point is, like, getting herself back. Cedric, roll me a perception check.
Here comes that one.
Here comes the dragonfly, baby.
13.
Hey! Cedric, you hear a heavy sigh, coming from, somewhere around this-ish direction. Followed by, when will... It's back!
Hey, mimes can't talk.
Palacia does not seem to have noticed this, but you very much do.
How far away would you say he is?
Probably about 20 feet from you. Actually,
gonna-
the whole region is probably a lot bigger than that. I would say he is probably about 50 feet from you. Let's say it's that.
I'm gonna use message.
Nice. What is your message, Cedric?
Get over here, she needs you.
You get back. Oh my god, who's talking in my head?
I do it again. The tiefling you saw before, now get over here. And
Over where?
Palacia looks at you because there are verbal and somatic components to that, and she says, "What are you doing?"
Don't worry about it.
And Cedric, you hear, "Are you over here?" Palacia looks up as Candlefoot rounds the bend over here. And Candlefoot sees Palacia, and Palacia sees Candlefoot, and the two of them both gasp. And Candlefoot says, "It's you!" And Palacia says, "It's you!" And the two of them rush to embrace each other. I'm gonna say, Cedric, right now, I'm gonna ignore the distance limitation of message and say that you can shoot a message to Zalora to let her know what's going on.
Okay.
Or anyone in the party who you wish to.
Considering he saw you said I saw Zalora before, I'm gonna send it to Zalora.
Okay.
Saying that they found each other. That's it. Nothing else.
Did he say where he is at all, or anything, or can I feel
Nope.
where he is?
Just that they found each other.
Zalora, make me an Arcana check.
Okay.
So Laura can reply.
Zalora can make a 10-word reply. Yes. Oh wait,
Well,
it's not.
I got a
it's not
dirty
working.
20.
Fantastic.
Um,
Zalora, you know that. Sorry.
You're thinking of sending. There's like a
I
link.
am thinking of sending. I thought Whisper Message also had that, but I was super wrong. Zalora, you know for a fact that Cedric's magic came from southwest of you.
Okay, so I would think, okay, follow the river southwest, and she's gonna take the birdwing and not like meanly, but just like tug, kind of like insistently, like let's go. They're together. You can do it at the same time. You want to get it over, right?
Get it over.
And like before, she was all shy. Now she's all business. Like her
I
friend.
love that.
Her friend is hurt and like she's just like in the zone, like going like, come on guys, Cedric is with can't remember their names. Candlekeep.
Candlefoot, Palacia.
Palacia.
Palacia and Candlekeep.
Also,
Candlekeep.
Candlekeep.
I believe the verbal component is you're saying the message, even though the only person can hear it is the message person. Judging by how it is.
Ah,
I
maybe
could
so.
be wrong, but judging by how it's read, is what I would assume.
I
That
always
idea
assumed
would
there
be
was
if you're
there was
trying to
like
send a secret
unnamed.
message, you'd have to say the secret message in order to.
Well, my assumption was that to initiate the spell, there was like a first verbal point of it, and then you say the message. But we can quibble over that later.
Yeah.
So I assume the party heads on with Kettle Steam in tow, begrudgingly, but not uncooperatively.
Mm-hmm. And we'd head towards the river because mermaid.
As you get there, you hear long before you see, because both Palacia and Candlefoot have voices that carry a rush of sound and words and laughter. Cedric, this is tooth-decayingly sweet.
Cedric
Wait.
patted Amara's head. I don't want to hear it.
And you find Palacia and Candlefoot, who are wrapped up in a tight embrace, and Candlefoot leans back and says, "My love, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to avoid you. I just couldn't bear to look at you after what happened. After what I did, after what happened." And Palacia says, "There's nothing to apologize for. I'm so sorry that it happened to you at all. I just don't understand how it came back. I don't know what happened to you that just ended by itself."
So-
And at that, Zalora.
Says Laura steps. I can tell you what happened, sister.
Dearest!
And I
What
say, I found your troublemaker, and it seems there's been some mistakes. And I kind of push her forward and be like,
Kettle Steam, begrudgingly moves forward and says, "Some mistakes."
and what mistakes did you make?
She'll say in a copy of Alistair's voice, "You stole Candlefoot's voice." And Candlefoot looks at her and says, "What? How?"
I
and-
say so she can mimic it. I'm sorry, and I really mean it.
Oh
Kettle
no!
Steam looks at you.
You took my idea. No.
Either Alistair or Zalora or both of you can give me persuasion or intimidation checks to make her say that.
And I say, I would definitely, bare my teeth and attempt to do that if someone wants to help me.
May I add intimidation as well?
You absolutely can.
Nice.
Here, I know.
Oh,
you're just
hell yeah,
fundamentally
baby.
human.
21!
Oh my god. Yeah, all three of you just start, browbeating. Silently browbeating
I just
Kettlestein.
lowly hiss with my teeth.
And then she turns back in Alistair's voice, "I'm really sorry, and I really, really mean it." And Candlefoot says, I guess you're forgiven?" And Palacia says, "Dearest, you found my beloved's voice?"
Of course I
I-
did. Did you think
This
I was
one
gonna
was
let
also
this
the one.
troublemaker ruin your performance? He wasn't even doing it because he thought it was bad. He loved it, right? Tell her that you loved it.
You have to say I.
You,
I loved
Kettle
it.
Steam says in Zalora's voice, you loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
And then she kind of leans in and she's like, sister, there's been some weird things going on, and this Kenku wanted to learn the truth and went about it the wrong way. You, of course, have a magical voice.
Thank you so much. I don't know what it is that she's speaking of that's strange, but... And Candlefoot says, Palacia, I'm so sorry, but I've waited a while to tell you this. And I know this isn't the best time, and it's certainly not how I imagined it, but... And he looks at the five of you assembled here and says, I apologize for being in the spotlight.
Zalora starts to do the, like, thing she was mimicking him to do before. The little body shimmy dance.
Oh no.
He kind of shimmies, and he gets down on one knee, and he says, Palacia, my love, you bring color into my life in every way possible. The moment I laid eyes on you, I knew that I wouldn't be able to live without you. Would you do me the honor of making me the happiest man in the world? And he reaches into his basket of flowers and pulls out a small silver ring with a brilliant fire opal shaped into a seashell.
He brought the rock! And she
Palacia.
trills. She goes,
What is it?
Palacia.
What is this? Cupid's Day? This is the second couple we've
I know,
reunited.
right? Palacia, would you... And before you even finish it, Palacia shouts, yes! And dives onto him, knocking him over into the water.
Alistair says that actually in character, Amara will immediately cover his stupid rabbit mouth. Let this happen!
The two of them surface after maybe a little bit longer than a human would be comfortable in the water. And Palacia is trilling and humming in a way that harmonizes with her own voice. As she does so, Alistair, you've never seen this happen before, but all of you see as she sings and where she's holding on to Candlefoot, his body, he regains the color in his body, flooding into him from where her hands are touching him.
I mean, that's cool, but it's not going to be good for his profession.
Alistair, there are moments when you should not speak. This is one of them.
I have made decisions about what type of character I made in certain campaigns.
And Palacia turns to the five of you and says, this is because of you. I cannot thank you enough. If you ever have any need of me, you have only to tell me.
Zalora says, it makes me so happy to see you find joy, and hearing your song is enough for me. And she gives her a big hug and she whispers in her ear, I showed him how to do the dance.
Sister, how scandalous.
For the first time in a really long time, she giggles.
Palacia giggles with you.
And then
If
she
you'll
looks off
excuse
in the distance like...
I think I have a performance to get back to. Candlefoot, my love. Of course. Candlefoot scoops her up out of the water with remarkable ease for a man as skinny as he is, and carries her through the carnival back to her bowl. And you hear her voice lilting throughout the entire area, cutting through the air in an aria of joy.
I scream.
The carnival's mood increases by 2 steps.
Ooh!
Because you reunited Palacia and Candlefoot.
We solved 2 cases at once.
And Kettlesteam is like, "Ah! Let's be on our way," in Alistair's voice.
I I don't know who this person is. Person, bro, thing.
Kettlestein looks at Cedric and goes, I don't know who this person is, in your voice.
Do you need a voice? Yes or no?
What?
Yes.
Cedric will just kneel down. Take mine. Please throw over here.
I'm gonna say,
Kettlestein
So Laura's
grins
eyes
unless
get really big,
unless no one stops her.
and
She's about to take Cedric's
she
voice.
runs over and she's like, "No, you don't know what that means."
I'm aware.
You don't know if she's going to give it back or not.
Her eyes just get really big, and she gets like,
Kettlestein has the stem and the doll
Yeah.
in her hands right now.
We can always make her give it back. That's fine. But how are you gonna communicate with us, Cedric?
I don't need to speak.
so Zalora just looks devastated and kind of goes into shock, and like blanks out.
Of course you need to speak. We're in the middle of an investigation.
They know more about the area than we do. If they can only
Yeah, but they can talk in mimicry, so at least that's something. You wouldn't be able to talk at all.
You realize what mimicry is, right? They just repeat what we say.
But they can
Form words from it.
Yes, they can phrase the sentences in certain ways to get ideas across through the mimicry.
Kettlestein is going to say in the voice of an old gnome, I have a library. And then in the voice of an older elven woman, of sounds. And then in the voice of a gravelly dwarf, that I can use. Yes.
And then in the voice of a robot, I'm Bumblebee from Transformers. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and so...
So Zalora's just like gone into like shock. Like
You need to stop.
her
No.
face has gone slack, her eyes are glassy, and her whole body just shivers. And it's like she's not even there.
Kettlestein is going to say in a voice that you haven't heard, just like this generic human male voice, is she okay?
No. No, she's not.
Shame.
Kettlesteam, so your patron, who were they?
Zabilna. The voice that comes out of her when she says that is something... You've never heard a sound that could be described as iridescent before until you heard her say that. It was the voice... It was a voice that seemed to radiate with majesty and power. And you know, just like instinctively, that was the voice of her patron.
Yes, can I roll and see if it sounds like a good voice?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Are
Okay.
you a good voice or a bad voice?
Are you
Yeah.
a good voice or a bad voice? On a 15, you don't sense any ill intent from that voice. There's maybe like just a hint of mischief.
Yeah.
But nothing malevolent.
Okay.
In fairness, it was also just one word, so
Oh, of course.
it would have been
But
easy for
you said
someone
it was
to hide.
iridescent. I needed to know if it was like black light iridescent or neon iridescent.
That's actually pretty fair. Think more opalescent.
Okay.
She says again in Alistair's voice, "Let's be on our way."
I don't think I've ever said that.
I thought you did say that. I thought you did. Someone said, "Let's be on our way" earlier.
Definitely was Alistair.
All right. I look to the group and I'm like, so that was our biggest lead. Other than finding.
Is incorrect. Wait. No, that was our biggest lead because they were talking about the kettle stream?
Yeah.
Kettle
Oh,
steam. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kettlestein is actually going to open her mouth and a sound of a tea kettle whistling
Yes,
comes out.
I understood the reference after. That's why I changed it. I guess you're right, Alistair. That was, in fact, the only lead we had, even though we didn't actually make it to the place we were going to originally.
Yeah. I do remember, and I didn't put it together that it probably had to do with this stuff, was that, what's his name? Durlagron's son went missing. I didn't connect it at the time that it's probably connected to all this other stuff that's gone missing. But...
I don't. Kettle Steve, you wouldn't steal a child, would you?
No.
Okay. I
It's
had
more
to
of a-
ask.
I would guess it's related to either my small mystery figure or Cedric's small mystery figure.
Oh, that reminds me. So I have a plan. We need to get me somewhere high.
Oh, also, Cedric, I think we should use the Bubble Pop Teapot. It's amazing. You'll love it. But Cedric, there's a dragonfly and a dwarf flying around, and it might crash and hurt the dwarf. And you can fly... Yeah. And you can fly, Cedric? Do you think you could help the dragonfly and the dwarf make a safe landing? Before it crashes? Is Cedric here?
Cedric and Zalora are actually having a side conversation right now, so you turn to look, and the two of them are kind of occupied.
Cedric did reply to him.
Oh, he did?
I see you're busy, Cedric, but
Oh,
I feel like the dwarf could die.
Ding, so I'm typing.
Gordon, the dwarf does have impressive grip strength.
So that is a white knuckled death grip. Good on him. Good on him.
What I will say also is I have been rolling for the dwarf to make athletics check to stay on this dragonfly. He could fall.
I'm
That's
so
great.
proud of that dwarf's rolls.
Yeah, okay, cool. The Cedric's gonna help the dwarf.
Drake the firefighter.
You know what? 60
If he takes
feet.
off, I would just be like, Cedric, we'll meet you over by the bubble pop.
And I say Zalora just kind of looks like very confused around and is like not sure exactly what's happening.
As much as I want to ride the bubble pop thing, the point of this is that Cedric and I are in the same thing together. I don't think we can share a bubble.
Well, no, but he could probably fly up parallel to your bubble.
Can you hear things outside of the bubble?
Yeah.
Worth
This
a
is-
shot.
Yeah, Alistair, you are correct in this. The bubble is not soundproof.
Okay.
Anyone has anything to say before I go?
Oh, yep, that right there. I just typed it.
Bring him this way and
Alright.
tell him to jump? What?
I get
right.
what he means.
Alistair, I am going to need an acrobatics check from you as you try to keep up with the dragonfly's erratic flight patterns. If they can even be called patterns at this point. A 14. Let's
Okay.
see.
I have a dumb idea.
Oh, I love dumb ideas.
I mean, mine too, but, you know.
I
Where
will
is
say,
the
Cedric,
dragonfly
you do
over?
catch up with the dragonfly. You catch up with him somewhere around... There it is. Somewhere around this area.
Good, a wide open area makes this a lot easier.
Again, the dwarf is screaming for his life, and he has a death grip on these reins.
How high up are we?
You are about 90 feet in the air at this point.
Double perfect. I'm gonna attempt to fly over to land on the back of the dragonfly.
Incredible. With that acrobatics check, you can do that.
That is Alisar, not me.
Yeah, you said for me to roll it.
Oh, why did I... I'm sorry. Why did... No,
I assumed you meant, like, because I was on the ground, like,
No,
trying to, like...
that was
but-
completely me screwing up. No, Cedric, I need you to roll me an acrobatics check to catch up.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear.
What did you find instead?
No, actually, Cedric still did match the dragonfly's acrobatics, so you still caught up with it.
Okay.
Cedric, you do manage to catch up. It's a bit harder for you to keep up with it, but you can, like, have a hand on the dragonfly.
Okay.
Actually, no, you can land on it. You can land. You're gonna have to still be keeping yourself somewhat aloft, because the dragonfly can't hold the weight of both of you.
Okay. I'm gonna
Or is
look
that
into the
your
dwarf.
intent?
It's like, do you want to get off or do you want to have a crash landing?
I want to get off!
Okay.
Someone stop this crazy thing!
I'm gonna grab the dwarf.
Incredible.
Let go
You
of the
you
rein.
have your hands around the middle of a middle-aged dwarf with a bright blue beard who is having a panic attack, you think.
Let go of the reins.
I'm gonna need a persuasion check on that. I'm gonna need a persuasion check. Oh my god!
Woo! Nat 20, baby.
Finally.
Cedric, there is an authority in your voice, and the dwarf immediately releases the reins. What is your plan now that the dwarf is in freefall?
Well, he had grabbed the dwarf, so the dwarf wouldn't be in free fall.
Fantastic. Give me an athletics check to hold this dwarf.
Okay.
What is Cedric's strength score?
-1.
Oh.
Absolutely give me an
11.
athletics check.
11.
You are both falling.
Oh no.
That is fine.
You are able to slow it down right now if you land. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never
I had a
mind.
plan. I had a feeling Gordon had that.
Your
Pure
plan
trust.
was I thought that Gordon had feather.
Well, because that's
fall.
why you said bring
Yes.
him over here and tell him to jump, so
I
Exactly.
was wondering what that meant, actually.
I figured.
That was-
Oh, I just wanted to watch someone break their legs, obviously.
You're just trust.
And I love that
Question.
though.
Question: is the dragonfly alive? So is it a creature?
It is. It is both alive and a
Cool.
creature.
Gordon, can you cast it on that too? So that way the
It
dragonfly.
says up to 5, so
Cool.
consider it done.
The dragonfly is not within 60 feet of you. The dragonfly
We're
is
falling
90
at the ground.
feet in the air.
Yeah, we're
Is
falling.
it
to the
coming
floor.
down as well? Does it have a downward trajectory?
No.
It's just
Oh,
falling
okay.
around crazily.
However, once the
calm
dwarf
down
is off
eventually.
of it, the dragonfly seems to calm down and is flying back towards the northeast.
Homeward bound.
Okay, well-
So yeah, with that, Gordon, you can still fly down by your own power, but the dwarf is no longer pulling you down. And the two of you land on the ground safely.
Nice.
Gordon,
How was that for a performance?
either Gordon or Cedric, give me a performance check.
Are people gonna clap for him?
Can it be Gordon? Can it be Gordon? Can we go with
It can
Gordon?
absolutely.
I hate my life.
I'm so sorry, Cedric.
Oh,
Gordon, you perform a stirring ballad on your lute as the dwarf begins to descend, and you actually reach out one of your arms to catch the dwarf with one hand and bear him gently to the ground. Cedric, you land on the ground and your foot lands in something.
Oh no.
You look down. You've never seen a pile of snail manure before, but this looks like that.
I hate my life.
However,
I got
Gordon, as you bring the dwarf down, there's a bunch of people who have come to look as the screaming has gotten louder in this area, and you hear a
Amazing.
from onlookers.
Yeah, just slightly blue screens and puts his head down.
Oh no.
And as you do that, actually,
Dun, dun.
We
It
have
can't
made
go
the
any higher,
carnival
Captain.
a happy place.
What
she
happened?
can't go any higher.
What if we break it? Like, does it just keep going and then like the thing just shatters? Like,
I mean,
Well, actually,
y'all are doing pretty well over here.
It goes
Uh.
around in a circle and it just starts getting bad.
But as that happens, you all hear a loud commotion coming from the big top.
Oh golly.
People are starting to file into the big top as music and sound gets louder and louder. Alistair, you absolutely recognize the signs of the Big Top Extravaganza. As that happens, all the lights, it's right about, probably, it's edging on midnight right now. And the lights that are strung all over the carnival begin to dim as a brilliant spotlight blares up around the Big Top. And standing above it, alit upon a bright silver ring, is this figure.
I hate this.
Mr.
Not what I
Light.
pictured, but not as bad.
He's got like a weird Santa hat on. Get him off.
As he descends over the Big Top, he calls out in a voice that all of you can hear clearly. Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza! I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted! And as he says that, the ring he is on fades into the tent as the show begins. Is Zalora casting mage armor on herself?
It just was a mistake. Don't you worry.
Oh, okay,
it's something
okay,
that I do
like...
every day because it lasts for like 8 hours. And
sure.
You know.
I was like, are you that distrustful of clowns?
Yes, I am.
The party does not need to go to the Big Top Extravaganza, but they are welcome to do so.
Seems
On
like
one hand,
we
the
might
greater
as
gathering
well.
of people.
Well, it is up to the party whether we want to continue exploring and investigating, or the Big Top is a great show. Like it's real nice, but I don't know that we'll learn anything necessarily. But
Oh, on the contrary, my friend, you can learn a lot about a person simply by watching their mannerisms. And with such a gathering of people all in one space, that's a lot of faces to take in, a lot of different people who could be expressing.
Does the extravaganza last for the whole 4th hour?
It lasts for the entire 4th hour. What I will say also is that the extravaganza is your first time to be within view of one of the owners of the carnival.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So that was Mr. Light. He's my boss. Yeah, and I look at Kettle Steve and I'm like, so I guess if we can go for that reason.
She's gonna say in a stern older woman's voice, it's not a bad reason.
What's the part? What do we think?
I mean,
Well, you go first.
if there is something going on with the circus, it only stands to reason that the big event would be when shit, as per they say, hit the fan.
I would think that I guess because if there's a bunch of people there, the two creepy creatures could be among the crowds. Yeah. I don't think we're going to necessarily see anything sketchy in the performances, but among the crowd, we could look for those creatures.
Well, it's already too dark for me to see anything up in the air anyway, so we don't really have anything else to do.
Is it dark outside right now? The lights are...
Midnight.
No,
Yeah.
but there's lights everywhere.
There are lights everywhere. The
But that
further
makes it
you get,
harder
the
to
more
see things
difficult
on
it
the
is to
ground.
distinguish things from within the lights.
Mm-hmm. That's how darkness works.
Unfortunately, it is.
Unless
I
you,
thought
unless you
they
said,
had created basically like a magical, almost daylight.
No,
with
it's like
the-
night blindness. You can't see anything.
It very much is still nighttime because that air of like fairy lights amidst the darkness, that starlight effect, is very much what the carnival's going for.
Gotcha.
Unless you're Cedric, the darkness is midday. The midday is darkness. Not actually, but like it's harder to see than the light.
I guess we can use 5, 6, 7, and 8 to further explore the actual carnival. Let's go.
Yeah, there is still a full half the carnival after this is over.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the big top, but let's be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yes.
I mean,
be
By
suspicious.
that
clowns are
turn-
very suspicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say by that logic, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are like, they're gonna know. No one's gonna know. Everybody's gonna know.
How would they know?
How indeed would they know? So we are going to retire ourselves to the big top.
Nice. What if we had Kettle Steam randomly go into spots in the crowd and just yell, Hourglass Coven, and then, go to a different part of the crowd and yell it, and, in different voices in different spots, and then we see how Mr. Witch and Mr. Light react.
Have you ever heard the expression "poke the bear"?
Kettle Steam looks like she loves poking bears and would be just so down for this. But as the group walks in, you are treated to a display of fire breathing as whirls of colors and flames dance throughout the big top. As that fire breathing is going, you also see is he a giant? What is he? Give me 1 second, I'm so sorry. They have things in this
Sound
book.
effects. Whoosh.
Whoosh. Ah! Oh! I just didn't think this to start.
Apparently, Cedric is not coming with us.
Cedric is not going with you?
Cedric has split the party.
Oh! I
Amara,
just need a moment.
what does my insight say?
What are you inciting? Oh, I see their conversation.
That's actually a good question. Amara, what does Zalora's 21 insight show her? Oh my.
God
Jump.
damn it!
Tells you nothing.
Oh, Amara, you have a really good poker face. But Zalora's had to deal with nobility all of her life. Micro expressions are her jam.
Billy. Yes. Amara is just going to walk straight past Zalora into the big top.
It sounds like embarrassment is something you get from Amara, Zalora.
She just goes,
Palacia.
courting rituals for land dwellers are so weird.
Person who was like, shimmy, 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 shimmy.
You gotta do a water dance. God damn it.
Palacia is in the center of the big top, serenading the crowd as a large bugbear is performing feats of strength, moving around her, picking up various other performers. You see that Durlagron is also a part of this performance, currently being lifted by one hand by this bugbear.
Does he lift things up and put them down?
He lifts things up and put them down. A pair of acrobats are swinging across the top of the tent, dancing back and forth across trapezes. I hate this music. It's stupid. Let's do this one instead. No, let's keep going with this one. That's fine. As Mr. Light is situated at the center of the big top, directing all of it with a bright golden vein in his hand, as if a conductor's baton, directing the performers to and fro. You see that almost every major performer from the circus is here. Even Candlefoot is going around the audience, playing silent games with children as the performers make their show. What is the party doing? Are they simply spectating, or do y'all want to accomplish anything?
I'm gonna say,
while...
I'm very suspicious and would like to be looking around, but I would also like to be looking to make sure that, like, I can't help but be a little distracted by the singing.
Absolutely. Zalora, go ahead and give me a perception check. What is everyone else doing?
I have seen this before, so the show doesn't really do... I mean, it's cool, it's fun. But, I would like to look in the crowd and see if, I can find any sort of... Like, we've seen 2 weird creatures now. I want to see if anything stands out in the crowd.
Sure, yeah. That would also be a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, and Cedric isn't here to tell us if the other weird creature is here. Fucking hell.
Nope.
Cedric is not good with crowds, and he's had to deal
So,
with it.
Cedric went to Lost Property, but it sounds like Durlagon is here. So...
Hey, Alistair, take
Wow.
that. See if it helps.
Cedric didn't go to talk with anyone. He's there to be away from people. Just for
Who's the
his-
Bardic for?
I just said you, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
So keep that in your back pocket, Alistair, just in case.
Can I
with-
use it on the 8 and try to turn it into a 14?
He
I'd say
gave you the inspiration after
after.
you made the check,
Yeah.
so no.
See, okay, I gotcha. Yep.
I figure we're
was
going to be
valiant-
making several.
It
so.
was a valiant effort, Gordon, but there will be other checks to make, don't worry.
I was going to say, that's kind of what I figured. So.
Right. With your 11, Zalora, you don't see much of anything out of the ordinary, and it's kind of difficult to take your eyes off of everything that's happening in the central ring. I will say, though, that you do notice at the rear of the big top, like out of sight of most of the audience, you see another gentleman who is standing off to the side watching the show. You see this gentleman. And I think it's reasonable that you would recognize one of the 2 proprietors of the carnival. This is the other owner, Mr. Witch. He is holding that glowing pocket watch in his hands, and he is just kind of observing. You get the impression he's almost here in like an auditing auditing fashion. Yeah, there was another word, but I forgot what it was. So that is something that you see.
I lean over to Kettle and be like, keep your eyes on him.
I forgot to make my roll.
I just
My
noticed
eyes
that
on him.
I just noticed that the 1 through 8 are hourglasses.
They are hourglasses.
Well, not really much for me.
Alistair, on your 8, you are keeping an eye out, but people are jumping and cheering and shouting, and there's so much movement going on.
Yeah, I'm too short.
And you're short.
Yeah.
Remind me how tall Alistair is?
I think we said 3-something.
Oh god, yeah, you can't see shit, Captain.
He sees a lot of butts.
If I were gonna do something, I would turn to Amara and I'd be like, "Hey, I think earlier you mentioned holding me up. Might come in handy in situations. I don't know. I don't expect you to hold me up. It's kind of awkward, but I don't know, maybe. But
So Laura leans down. She's like, in the sea, if you can't see things like a crab, you should get on a rock.
Yeah, not a rock.
Oh,
you are
don't
earlier,
talk
so I
about
was
yourself
saying,
like that. And she pats you like a rock is a really good thing.
Amara,
Taller than a rock.
I see that you rolled a 19. What did you roll for? What are you
So,
looking at?
Amara is hanging around probably the very top row.
Mhm.
Like she took a seat in the back row of the audience.
You're up in the nosebleeds.
And she is looking down, basically to see if anything catches her eye. Interestingly, because it's
Okay.
interesting with colorblind, with not being able to see colors, you're not as distracted by a lot of the like bright, flashy things happening.
That's fair. You would have pretty clear sight of what's going on in this crowd. Is your attention on the performers or on the crowd?
I think right now it would be on the crowd.
Okay.
Maybe it was necessarily specifically the crowd's reaction to the performers, like if anything, if it's affecting them in any way or anything like that, or what kind of vibe I get from the performance itself.
Okay. The vibe you get from the performance is that it is hyped. Like this is pretty much the big thing in the night. The crowning of the monarch is fine and all, but the extravaganza is, for a lot of people, what they come to the carnival for. So you are seeing all of these performers at their absolute best. Maybe the party is a little bit glad that they've solved Palacia and Candlefoot's issues before this, because you definitely notice that Palacia's song is powerfully moving throughout this tent.
Go team.
Do I notice anyone who's usually here or was scheduled to perform that's not here?
Usually here or scheduled to perform who is not here? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think everyone who's supposed to be here is here.
Okay.
But good question, though. With your 19 perception, Amara, I will say that you do see something moving throughout the crowd. And it's notable to you because the figure that you see moving through the crowd very strongly resembles one of the performers. The trapeze artist that I mentioned before, one of them is a tall elven woman who bears on her face a sun-shaped mask. And if you will be so kind as to look over by the NPCs, under Witchlight Carnival, you will see a shadowy, mysterious figure.
Oh, okay.
You see that figure flitting through the crowd. You're a bit too far away to tell what they're doing exactly, but you do see them. But
I would like to move closer before you switch. Also.
Sure. Amara, give me an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice, to move through the crowd swiftly.
As I flip over the audience.
It's either acrobatics to, sift your way through people, or athletics to just push your way through.
Oh no, I am baby.
Amara, you try to get your way through the audience, and you are completely stymied by what seems to be just an impassable wall of dwarfs.
Makes sense, because I have 9 strength.
And these dwarfs are solid, and they like the spots that they're in, and they are very invested in this show, and they are not moving.
And Alistair's on your back, so it's hard.
And what?
Alistair's on your back.
Is Alistair riding on your back?
No, she said she wouldn't pick me up.
I said I would, but it also depended on what area we were both in. Because I
The
did
question
say
is,
that
will
I
you
was
do it
up.
right now?
Well, is he where I was hanging out in the back of the theater?
He asked you earlier for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yes. Let me roll my -1 strength.
You don't need to.
so-
Alistair's
okay.
helping you with it.
Sweet.
You are definitely encumbered while holding Alistair, though.
So I am going to tell Alistair who I saw and see if maybe, me hoisting them up, they can see what I saw.
Or I give you permission to throw me. Throw me.
This is not Lord of the Rings. Come on.
Amara, if you want, you can give me an athletics check at disadvantage to throw Alistair.
I am not strong enough to throw you.
Can I make an acrobatics check to jump off of her and use her like a diving board?
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Jumping would be athletics, not acrobatics.
Oh.
I will say though, Alistair, if you want to pop a key point in Step of the Wind,
Yeah. Forgot I had key points. Thank you.
You're a monk. You have class features.
Yeah, my jump distance is doubled, so yes, I would like to jump 80 feet or whatever my jump distance would be. No,
Well, it's still limited by your move speed, bear in mind.
yes.
What is your strength score, Alistair?
That's the problem. My strength score is 8.
Is 8. So you can clear 20 feet pretty easily with your long jump after Step of the Winding.
Okay.
Based
on where Amara saw the thing, am I at 20 feet or less from the thing she saw?
Give me a perception check with advantage, Alistair. Ooh, boy! You do see the thing. It is about 40 feet away from you.
Wait.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry. Let me put this thing in your view as well.
Shit.
I do have my bunny hop, which lets me jump further. Let me see what that does.
Kyle, the shadowy, mysterious figure is now visible to you in the NPC tab.
How far away is it from
The
me?
stream wants to see.
Oh no! Wait a second! Kyle thinks that Alistair. I think you told me that Alistair had seen that around the carnival already.
Alistair has seen this figure before.
Yes, I would say that Amara. I've seen her before around the carnival. Let me see what my rabbit hop. My rabbit hop adds an extra 10 feet.
That is many feet.
How far away is she from me?
As a
40
bonus
feet.
action, I get an extra 10 feet, so I can jump 20 plus 10 is 30, but you said she's 40?
Correct.
Okay, well, I have a movement speed of 40, so I can just walk the last 10.
Okay.
Oh!
Hell yeah.
It's
I
not.
don't know that I necessarily want to cause
Okay.
damage. I
So
mostly
no,
wanted...
Hunter's Mark causes extra damage if you hit with an attack roll.
Okay, cool. Because I just want to mark them.
Yeah, it's
Strategy is good.
Fascinating. Okay.
I'm a smart player.
So yeah, because I'm a rabbit and I have my jump feature, do I have to roll
Right.
an athletics or acrobatics to jump, or does it kind of...
I'm gonna say you can just do it. You just accomplish
yeah.
that leap. You can just get those 30 feet over to where this figure is. You
Yeah.
are gonna have to give me an acrobatics check or athletics, your choice, to duck
Okay.
through the crowd to make that last bit of distance.
and that I did have to use my key point as well, or no?
Oh, you still use your key point for Step of the Wind, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And then what was the last thing you said? Sorry.
You are going to have to make either an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice, to clear the last bit of distance to this figure.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's lame.
yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
16 is nice.
I'm
Yeah,
loving
you,
it.
you duck through the legs of the crowd, and you find yourself face to face with this figure, who looks down at you kind of astonished. I am, though, going to roll something.
I look up at her and I'm like, oh, sorry.
I kind of want a house rule because, like, apparently Hunter's Mark is verbal, not somatic, and I think that's lame. And I really want to have like a somatic cue of like Amara like bullseyes her eye and.
You can have optional somatic components.
I mean, yeah, you can absolutely do that, but there's also like a you
Yeah.
component to it.
It's-
Like you do still say something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you
I
can do
love
that.
that.
It doesn't mean that's how it happens. You just think it does. And you're like,
Oh, no.
you!
Amara doesn't
Also,
know.
the problem with adding like a mandatory somatic component would be if you're ever tied up, you're gonna be like, damn it, why did I add that magnifying thing? Like,
Regardless, you do pinpoint the creature with your hunter's mark. Alistair, you do come across it. As you do, Alistair, you had forgotten what happens about midway through the extravaganza. A spotlight lands on you in the carnival as Mr. Light's voice echoes across and says, "It looks like we already have a volunteer for our audience participation."
Aw, fuck off.
shadow
Dear.
figure.
The shadowy figure is still there. It's harder to see now because you're in the spotlight. I will say, Zalora, Gordon, and Amara are also there if y'all want to draw attention away from Alistair.
Say, Zalora will yell and just like strum her gall and try to get attention.
Fantastic.
And I think I will probably also stand up and shoot my hand in the air.
Okay,
Ooh.
so here's the thing. You
I'm
can
really
either
bad.
give me separate performance checks, or one of you can give the other advantage.
You just want to do separate in case we both get a chance.
I rolled
Or-
mine, so you can absolutely roll your own, or you can
Okay.
give me advantage. That's up to you. Maybe a bad performance would be even better, because that means that I, like, screeched.
I was going to say, even a bad performance, I mean, that's going to draw some eyes.
Yeah.
All right, win or lose, let's go. 2 people trying to get attention. Oh my god.
What? What'd you get?
Oh
The exact same.
You both got 7s.
Oh
We both
my-
screech at the same time, make the loudest
my
fucking disgusting
word.
noise.
Mr. Light kind of falters as the two of you go, "Ah!" with your instruments and your voices, and he goes, "We seem to have a lot of enthusiasm in the audience tonight, folks." Alistair, that does give you a chance to slip away. Although it does not make the audience favorable towards Gordon and Zalora.
Zalora
I
then
don't
just, like,
slip away.
shrinks down because she doesn't want anyone to look at her.
Oh,
She
God.
hides behind Gordon.
I'll slip away, but I
I'll
won't
own
slip.
up to it.
But I don't want to go away from the figure, so I would go towards the shadowy, mysterious figure. And
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So you were going to do 2 things for me.
Yeah.
You're going to give me a perception check to keep an eye on the figure, and you're going to give me a stealth check to get out of the view of the audience.
Okay.
That is a natty 1.
Bing.
Don't forget,
Okay.
you also have...
I'd like to switch those 2 because I have a +5 to both.
Oh
That's
my
not
God.
how it works, my man.
So
Wow.
you get out of the spotlight. You are out of view of the audience, and Mr. Light is like, "Where did our furry friend go? Looks like he's playing hide and seek, folks." You have lost sight of the figure. However, you do still see Amara.
Yeah.
Amara, you are watching this figure move through the crowd like she's made of water. Also, Amara, give me a perception check as well really quickly, because you might have seen something when the light struck her. Amara, you saw her shrink away from the light. You're not sure if that's just because she doesn't want to be the center of attention, or if there might be something more to it.
That was why when I was under this light, I pointed at the figure. I was hoping the spotlight would turn towards her. But
Ah.
That also would have worked.
So I'm gonna give Amara and Alistair a chance to, like, coordinate their next move, as Mr. Light attempts to coerce Gordon and Zalora to come down and give the audience a performance.
Oh, he doesn't even need to coerce. I'm already strutting down.
Zalora's like, Gordon, no. And she just clings onto his shirt on the back and is slowly dragged forward step by step.
Gordon says, "Stage, don't mind if I do."
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our lovely newest performers. And he leaves it to you to introduce yourselves.
Fucking bards.
I am going to, because I'm trying to ham this up as much as possible for everyone else to get what they're done doing, whatever. I take out my lute, I do a little strum. My name's Gordon Birkin, and I will be happy to perform for all of you tonight. Strum.
The wondrous Gordon Birkin!
Zalora just
Gordon-
takes, like, a deep breath and, like, shores herself, puts her hair back so her beautiful, like, blue hair just swings back, and she goes, "I am Zalora, and I will show you what it's like to hear the song of the ocean." And she'll just sing, like, she'll strum her gall, and, like, the deepest resonating sound just kind of goes,
And the lovely sonorous sounds of Zalora! Would you two be so kind as to give me one more performance check to see how the crowd responds?
Do we
You
want
are
to
not-
do one performance check with advantage?
I will say that either you can do separate ones, or one of you can give the other the help action.
Why don't I give you the help action since you step forward first, and I kind of, like, if I was singing, it'd be one thing, but I'm also I'm trying to bolster you and make you the spotlight.
That also fits your characterization so far, I think.
That would work perfect. Yeah. That's not performance. That's deception.
I deceive all of you and just
Yeah,
think
maybe
you're
you're deceiving the audience into liking it.
Holy
Nice.
shit!
So
Nat
now
20! We should go on the road, boy!
The biggest deception.
Gordon, as you start playing, you hear from behind you, Palacia's singing shift to match your same chord progression. And the trapeze artists in the air start to wave their arms and shake pixie dust all over the big top, and you slowly begin to lift into the air as your song washes over the crowd.
Say, my gall mimics the waves of the ocean and soothes everyone into the rhythm.
Fantastic. The lights of the big top seem to shift to the greens and blues of the ocean as the air around you shimmers with the force of your magic, of your personality. And for a moment, the crowd is entranced by this incredible performance. And if I could put the carnival mood higher, I would.
Oh.
Flavor. Imagine something like folk music, or like maybe Conway Twitty-esque.
Don't have any folk music ready, I'm afraid.
Just something folksy and like very small town.
I love it. Like good country music.
Yeah, like I said,
while
Conway
that's-
Twitty. You can't go
While
wrong.
that's happening,
No.
we're actually gonna dip back from here, over to the lost property tent.
I wasn't
Cedric,
expecting that.
Cedric, you have gone to like get some fresh air and get yourself back under control. You've had kind of a day. As you walk over to Lost Property Tent, you see that it's not Durlagron who's attending it. Instead, it's a young woman. You see a young halfling who is laying on a hammock stretched between these two very large mushrooms right here. And she is idly strumming her guitar as you walk up. And she cracks one eye open. They had both been closed earlier. And she says, "Oh, I didn't expect to see a visitor here. What can I do you for?"
Can I just hide here for a moment?
Of course you can, love.
It's been a day.
I believe it.
As
What's
you
got you all in a tizzy, love?
Well, I dealt with a mime who didn't have a voice. I've been clung on. I've been having to fly after people. There were lover squirrels twice today. It's...
Sounds like a lot. But you helped him out, I trust?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's a right good turn, I'd say. Reckon it deserves another. I think you can stay here and rest as long as you like, kid.
Thank you.
Where are your friends? Where are your friends, kiddo?
They're at the big top.
I didn't expect y'all to split up, but you're exactly where you need to be, I reckon.
And that Cedric's gonna look over to her and be like, "Wait, what?"
What?
I heard that.
Did you now?
What
And
do you
what'd
mean
you hear?
expect us to split up?
Well, all I mean is that if you find a group of friends you can trust, it makes sense to stay close to them, don't it?
Yeah, I'd agree if it wasn't for the big top.
Crowds don't do it for you?
on top of that, I'm used to the darkness, and bright flashing lights, even with these glasses, wouldn't be the best.
You're a creature of darkness, I think, but I think you stick to it a little bit more than you need to. Cedric, give me an insight check, if you would be so kind.
I hate.
Oh my
Rolls are
god!
good for RP2.
Oh my god, they absolutely are.
Oh no!
Cedric, I am, though, going to show you the woman you are speaking to, and I'll show it to the whole party, because she is not a secret. You are
First
speaking
name
to this
Curious,
woman.
last name Woman.
Look
First
at
name
that
Curious,
derpy
last
frog, I
name
love
woman.
it.
Cedric, something about her just kind of rubs you the wrong way a little bit. Maybe it's her mannerisms, maybe it's her way of speaking, but, like, something's just... bleh.
You remind me of the nobles who believe they know what they're talking about.
Damn, boyo. I don't think I've been burned that hard in a while. You got a bee up your bonnet, sounds like.
I have no idea what that means.
It means something's bothering you, but I'm pretty sure we've already been over that. I'll leave you to your being, if you'd rather I do so.
How did you... Cedric's fumbling on words. How did you know of my group? If you're willing to answer that.
Well, let's review some facts, you and me. Your group, your friends, these people that you find yourself trusting maybe a little bit more naturally than you would most people. 5 of you come here, same day, to a magical carnival, find a set of tickets with your names on them, purchased by a mysterious benefactor. Sometimes a little bit sometimes fate needs a bit of an extra hand, I feel.
You paid for the tickets, didn't you?
That I did.
Secret
I did.
Secret plotline.
I'd suggest not going to the carnival, not going to the Big Top.
Does that bother you?
I'm not yet. Nothing bothers me yet.
A man of stoicism. I can appreciate that. Keep your eyes out. I figure y'all are exactly where you need to be, and you might want to have your wits about you.
I've been trying to keep my eyes out. It hasn't been working so far.
She strums another chord in her guitar and she says, "In a place where there's lots to see, nothing you can notice is unimportant. I've seen a lot, and I've yet to see a detail that wasn't crucial to somebody."
Noted.
And we are going to... Actually, it is 10:07 right now, so I think that, as we are right now with the extravaganza winding down from Gordon's spectacular performance, I think that I'm going to go ahead and call the session here.
Sounds good.
So that we can stop on time.
That's fair.
So, thank you all so much for playing.
All right. When is the next session?
That is a good question, because we are diving
It'd be the
into...
14th?
Let me see. Let me pull up my calendar.
Yeah, it would be the 14th, if we stick with our every other week.
Yes. Yes, it would be. Is the 14th... Does anyone have any conflicts on the 14th that I should know about?
Yep.
Nope.
Not as-
Not that I am currently aware of.
Just glad it doesn't fall on a Christmas.
Right. Perfect. Then yeah, let's go ahead and schedule our next session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight for the 14th.
But I want it on the 7th.
I do want it on the 7th.
Well, that's actually a good point. So, with the holidays happening both weeks after, we would end up with we're going to end up with a significant break in between sessions from the 14th onwards.
Unless people are free the 28th, because the 28th itself isn't a holiday.
So the 21st, I'm going to be in Louisiana, and the 28th, I'm going to be recovering from work back from Louisiana. So I'm not going to have any time to prep sessions.
I see.
So let me say, if y'all want, we could do sessions on the 7th and the 14th.
Yes.
To get some more time.
Tuesdays are open regardless, so I'm good.
Secretly pushing JD into more campaign time.
Y'all think you's sneaky, but you's not.
Well, we're not actually getting more. We're actually getting the same, because then we'd be skipping the 21st and the 28th.
But what
It's
if
not that we're
JD's not
pushing them
talking?
into
It's a trick, but I still accept it.
You what, Shannon?
I said it doesn't count. This is a trick from Joe to us, but I still accept this. Yes.
I accept weekly. I accept weekly.
Fantastic. So let's aim for the 7th and the 14th for our next upcoming sessions. This game is also easier for me to prep because it's coming out of the book.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's do a quick debrief, y'all. How is everyone feeling after this session? Thoughts, comments, concerns?
Fun.
Very
It's
good.
Fun.
Good. I don't like it when Cedric leaves. Who am I supposed to hide behind? I couldn't hide behind Gordon because he friggin' pulled me up on stage. What do you think this shit is?
We volunteered.
Also, I made that height chart, and literally the only one taller than you is Cedric. You are the second tallest.
I was trying
Gordon
so
shorter
hard
than
to
Sarah.
hide.
And then Gordon went on stage.
I know.
Fantastic. Well,
Hey, I'm not going to interrupt a show just to be a dick. If I'm going to volunteer, I'm volunteering.
Well, we have landed about halfway through the carnival. Y'all are beginning to unravel the mysteries thereof, as well as some hints of perhaps larger things happening behind the carnival.
Dun, dun, dun.
Joe's
And
like,
with
I
the,
will make this party split worth it. God damn it!
let me
Not
tell you, y'all are gonna have to try really hard to avoid my plots.
Or we just live in it and breathe it in.
Y'all just live in it. You don't know what you can't avoid what you don't know you're trying to avoid. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was expecting either nothing or he would be like, I'm not gonna have him sit there do nothing. And he'll toss something in. But I was like, Cedric would not go to the big top after everything, especially with all the bright lights and like that's just deafening to
Sure,
Cedric.
absolutely. I will say the more y'all cooperate with me, the easier it is for me, but I will make sure to do everything I can to make everything you do impactful.
Awesome.
Speaking of which, we have also reached the height of the carnival's mood, the consequences of which we are going to see next session.
Oh,
I don't like the word consequence.
JD, there was something I asked about at the beginning and it never happened.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What?
Oh, there is. No, I'm...
Can
Yes.
Can it just
I
happen
meant-
now?
Yes.
Non.
I mean, yes, it can. It can. I will throw in that in the big top, as you duck out of the spotlight and go searching for that shadowy figure, you do see at your feet a big, old, drooly blink dog. Who?
Boy! There you are, boy!
Arr,
Looking for you!
arr.
Does he have a token?
He does not, but he will before next session.
Nice.
Okay.
He wanted to pet, I see.
Well, he had one this entire time. Everyone just forgot
he just
about it.
didn't forget. He just didn't remember it.
No, I remember it.
In fairness, I didn't remember it.
Yeah. I whispered to JD, I'm like, so the dog, right? And he's like, I got this.
And then I distracted myself immediately.
Good job.
As you do.
As I do.
What the party hasn't realized, there's been a dog following us at random intervals.
That is such a better... Yes, absolutely. No one's rolled a high enough perception to notice the dog following you around the whole carnival.
Nice.
no,
He's
the
actually
dog-
been there the
rolled
whole
a
time.
nat 20 stealth several times.
Yup.
Dogs like that.
Maybe.
That.
Do you want to know what my actual plan was? Because it wasn't just to fall through, but I trusted if like it went wrong, Gordon had me.
What was your... You had an actual plan with the dwarf?
Yeah. So if I was able, because I was worried about the dragonfly going crazy. If I was gonna get the dwarf off, and then I was gonna cast sleep on the dragonfly, which is why I was like, oh good, open space.
Oh, I love that.
Which is why I was like, I have a dumb idea. It might work, but it's a dumb idea.
That is fantastic. Fortunately unnecessary, but very good.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
with that having been said and done, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go for the night.
Awesome.
Thank you all so